Hopefully. Because that was really annoying and dumb. Boo. Fucking Streamlabs taking a good old shiza. Gotta love it. Here, make sure we're good. Okay. Yeah. He has, like, far better weapons than the... Second stream. Wait, is there, like, literally another one that popped? Oh my fucking god, is it really being this retarded? The Streamlabs doing that. No? No, it's still the same one. Okay. Should be at least, right? Right, too? He has, like... Should be at least. Show's just the same one going. Yeah, I'll just do that real quick. I guess there is two of them now, I suppose, because, oh my god. I have two going on. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. What the fuck? Ugh. Why'd it do that? Whatever. Whatever. I guess it's just doing that because it's stupid. Boo. Man, fucking just... Fucking... Like, what happened was, like, it was like, oh, for some reason, couldn't, like, render something really quick, so it, like, glitched out, so I restarted it really quick, because I assumed it would just, like, continue on the same one, but it decided to open up a new stream instead, even though I clicked on the one that's still active instead. So it doesn't even make sense. Ugh, whatever. Here, I just want to make sure the screens are still okay at least. And yep, they're okay. Cool. Just don't be stupid. Again, Streamlabs, Jesus. No guy who tried to retool an Uzi 445. I mean, I imagine it wouldn't be that hard. I mean, it's just that you would have to, like, kind of maybe slightly change the magwell, change the whole bolt system, you know, or change the bolt to be a little bit more stronger, slightly bigger barrel, and, you know, that's 445, and, yeah, boomed in his face. Well, yeah, because he probably wasn't smart enough to, you know, like, do the whole, you know, shebang on it. He probably just like, oh, put a bigger barrel on it, that'll work. Even though it isn't. That isn't how it works. You trying to grind his 9mm barrel out? Oh my god! What? That's not what you do. Bruh. Oh my god. Oh. It's hilarious. No, it wouldn't be. Not to me. I'd be like, what the fuck? Jesus. Here. I want to see what, that's what 3 Drives of Shine does to someone who has guns. And that's why you probably, you know, motherfuckers like that probably shouldn't be owning guns like that. Considering that they're fucking idiots. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. And of course, when, you know, you mention this on, like, different gun channels and shit as well, like, when it comes to, like, people being stupid or being irresponsible or just like basically overtly advocating on like breaking laws, being like, oh yeah, when they try to put these laws through, break them, and then they'll proceed like to also bitch about like, oh, this is why it's like, why have laws when criminals are just gonna break them anyway. It's like, yeah, because it's you motherfuckers that are doing it. You're the ones who are the ones breaking the laws, you dumbasses. It's like, it's kind of a little telling how they, use that justification over and over again, but then we'll blame, like, the thugs about it, but never really look at themselves in the mirror because, oh, I'm the good one. It's like, fucking just absurd. You want to refuse help because you catch a fella? Yeah. And the thing is, if you want a short barrel shotgun, you could buy them. I think you just have to go for like an extra process because you have to get like tax stamped or something like that. I mean, there are ways to get short barrel shotties if you really want one. But I put myself in this. And they want to bitch about that. It's like, give me a break. I mean, why do you? To me, it's just like, why do you think these laws are in place to avoid, dumb fucks, from making stupid mistakes and hurting themselves or other people? Police watching them. We have an idiot to arrest. Honestly, I wish it was, the case. I mean, honestly. Because, it's like, if that was the case, so many of these dumb fuck yokels would not be having guns. Here. I'm gonna hit my friend Rip City about, like, what the fuck little link he wanted me to see earlier. Because I wanted to check it out, but he... Here, just give me 1 second here. There we go. Because so far down, it was basically a handgun. A kicker was ridiculous. He wanted to fit his handgun holster. Wow. Oh, what's this? Say, well, what the hell is this? So what? Kicks is enough to break hands. And that's why you don't do stupid shit like that. Freaking 8 gauge. An 8 gauge? And he saw... Oh my god. This guy's a perfect example of someone who shouldn't own guns just because of how much of a fucking idiot they are, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm about to have an aneurysm. And this is also kind of giving me a weird aneurysm. Like, I also kind of like how Palestine are the black chess pieces. I wonder what that's implying here. And also, I'm pretty sure in chess, black goes first. So, wouldn't they have the edge anyway? And also, you wouldn't want the king in the front. Like, okay, so they're implying that Israel's just straight up cheating. And also, you wouldn't want the king in front because that would make for an easy checkmate. In fact, I'm already looking at some moves right now to where I can, you know, like, at least put the king in check. I mean, it's like, bruh. So I think it's trying to, so why do you keep bombing Syria? You're gonna just admit it. Oh my god. I like how at least, you know, making fun of Israel's more of an accepted meme now. Because it's just too fucking obvious that they're just like overt lying piece of genocidal shits. I mean, at this point, when it comes to the Israeli government, it's just too fucking obvious. You know, it's not as simple as just like, oh, well, you know, a civilian accidentally got sniped at the wall or something. You know, it's not as simple as like some bullshit like that. They can't just chalk it up to that shit anymore. Because it's just like way too fucking overt. They've radicalized, you know, so many different elements of their government and, you know, within their hardliners to the point to where they can't, you know, see the, you know, reality check that, you know, would keep them from being pretty much hated by most of the world. I know a guy who owns an old Sherman tank and has military contacts for fuel. Well, I mean, you can legally own a tank. I mean, it's not impossible. He even claims he knows how to retrofit it back to fighting action. Well, if he has contacts in the military, I'm sure he probably does, actually, by that point. Because, yeah, when it comes to owning a tank, you can't have it, you know, you can't have the cannon usable. You can still have it, like, there, but the actual, like, you know, mechanisms to make it a cannon ain't gonna work. They either, like, take it out or they, like, you know, weld them shut and shit like that, so you can't use it. Dude. The spread animation didn't go this hard, not gonna lie. Bruh. Why does that go hard, though? Like, what the fuck? That is, like, the most intense, like, just shredding of bread ever. It's like, why does that go so hard? What the fuck? Like, I wonder how many frames it was needed to just, like, make that thing happen. You show me so deep. Show me deep in the Alabama woods. Are you sure these are things you should probably be saying? Just don't have it. Should you be saying these things? Like, I mean, I'm just gonna assume that you're joking. And by the way, that means shut up. to like. I mean, it's like that's kind of what it implied there. I forgot his name a decade ago. What did I just say? Never mind. I'll give pretend I didn't see that. It's the guy who animated that thought wrestling was going to be his big break, so he went as hard as possible. Well, I guess it kind of did, because, I mean, shit, I mean, it's now a meme. Got our link. Man, I kind of want to know what Rip, you know, sent me earlier, but he's doing errands, and it's just like, god damn it. Don't let the title mislead me. You're still hoping to receive our children alone in 2024? Okay, so you got me the hook. I can't, like, play back on these things. Like, what the fuck? Okay, here we go.
And they're setting their goals for 2024. I'm over here trying to figure out, how do I make a video that rounds up all of the drag queens, because there were a lot, that traumatized children this year. Traumatized them with their fake eyelashes and all that glitter and the loud outfits and the big hair and the perfect makeup.
The travesty.
How do I showcase just how many drag queens harmed children in libraries by reading them books? Because everybody knows that children shouldn't be around books, because books are indoctrinating. I'm trying to come up with a concept for this video, right? And I can't land on how to show all the drag queens who abuse their positions of power and authority.
I'm noticing that there's none of them
you know,
in
puts them in positions where adults
pictures
trust
there.
Them with access to their children, because why wouldn't you?
I've noticed a few cops.
Figures. And while trying to figure out this concept, I realized, oh my god, I just spent a year seeing drag queens when I met cops and pastors. When we come to the end of it.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. A lot of pastors, a lot of cops, you know, some what look like maybe potential politicians, you know, like, or at least, you know, running for potential political seats. You know, considering that some people were like, you know, got some flags and stuff like that in the background and shit. Yeah, just one thing I've noticed there a lot in that video. I was like, I know there was going to be a drop, and I like the drop, because it's true. You see what's going on in the stream while she talks? Yeah, I was noticing that. I was trying to see if there was like, I couldn't read any of the headlines. I just had to look at the pictures, and I just kind of noticed that, yeah, there's, you know, they don't really seem like, you know, drag queens or anything. How dare you? I know, like, how dare I have a life and be sociable and hang out with people? Are we really bringing this back up again? Are we doing this again? Bruh, come on. Just break out of the goddamn shell. Like, be an egg and be cooked up into an omelet, dude. You know, get scrambled up, be made up into an omelet, and become the fucking feast that you know you are. Get bored by somebody, I don't know. For this. I somehow feel like you don't. And you just keep saying that to yourself. Uncomfortable. Nah. I feel like that's something you just tell yourself. Rose, why are you assaulting me? Rose, why are you attacking me? Mental health of kids whose parents fought all the time. Cartoon Network. Rose, why are you attacking me? Maybe you're projecting. No, see, like, if you want to get at me, you gotta do what Rose did. He just, like, dude, he just got me in the gut right here, dude. See, this is how you hit me. You gotta hit me with some shit like this, dude. Like, that, like, because how am I projecting? I'm attacking myself. Well, we attacked you attacked, it was like, you know, fucking, it's like a murder-suicide situation. It was like a, you know, attacked me and then you attacked yourself. But also add Nickelodeon to that as well. And every now and then Discovery Channel and, like, the History Channel. Back when the History Channel was actually good. When, like, shootouts, dogfights, and Modern Marvels and shit like that were a thing, and it was actually cool. And then, like, you know, Animal Planet sometimes. So, I mean, there's a few other channels, but yeah, but the bulwark was certainly Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. Those were the bulwarks for me. And books. Yeah, books too. And video. Like video games, at least, you know, the big ones that were my fucking jams was Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, Age of Empires 1 and 2, the complete editions of them. And, or at least, you know, the complete editions at the time. Civilization 3, and then later 4. And, yeah, those were, like, pretty much my big three, for the most part. There's, like, a few other games that I really got into, but those were, like, the bulwark right there, too. Modern History Channel, Ancient Aliens is hilarious and interesting. Well, I mean, Modern History Channel is just a joke, and I guess, yes, for the memes and the hilarity of it all, yeah, sure. But, I mean, yeah, but if we're going to talk about, like, when it was actually kind of good and what the fuck, I mean, back in the day, dude. Dude, Dogfights was honestly, like, my jam, dude. I loved that shit. Then there was also shootouts, too, which, like, I mean, it was pretty crazy, too, because, like, it would basically, like, go into crazy, like, little details of, like, you know, different positions, different things, and, like, you know, and, like, little areas of battlefield and shit. I remember, like, there was a few episodes they had specifically on the Battle of Fallujah, and that shit was just fucking insane. They did an episode on the Hollywood shootout too, and you know, talked to some of the officers that were there at the time. So, you know, and like did a whole episode on that too. Which that one is honestly like fucking infamous. I mean, it's like that was, you know, like kind of a crazy just situation and event in its entirety, and it was like kind of the like rare time where like, I mean, where the cops basically didn't really have much, you know, that could have stopped that at the time. Like, they were kind of legit fucked, you know, from the get-go because of how, you know, how crazily decked out they were at that shit. Better live life to push us. Yeah, I doubt it. Living a life of bourgeois would be going to like, you know, rich, you know, like restaurants and like bougie bars and like cruises and having a private jet and shit like that. How's that about, Felicia? Damn. Yeah, I kind of remember growing up a little bit, like, you know, like I said, I kind of watching about it, like documentaries or in like the show and stuff like that from back in the day. Because at least at that time I was only a wee little lad. It's a rifleman with the 3-1. Damn, nice. Well, I mean, I guess relative, I suppose, with that one, but I mean, you know, but at least, you know, when it came to that shit, I mean, imagine it being fucking insane. Like, I had a buddy who was a coworker that served out in Iraq, where he was like mostly a technician and engineer. Usually was like, you know, maintaining like Humvees and like other equipment, stuff like that. But he's told me a few times where he would like have to go out on patrols and, you know, seen some different things. He never really talked too much about it, at least with me, but I know he's like talked about other crazier events, you know, with other friends that they've told me about, and I'm just like, whoa. I'm just like, man, there must have, I really can't even like really fathom like some of the crazy fucking shit that, you know, was going on over there at the time. War should never been in. Yeah, that's a common thing that I hear from a lot of people that came back from the Iraq War, including my friend too that I used to work with. I still keep in touch with, but I haven't talked to him in a minute. But yeah, that was also another thing that, you know, he's told me. It's like he kind of went in there thinking it's like, yeah, I'm gonna, you know, fight a country, you know, do some good and stuff. But, you know, after being there for so long, kind of realized, what are we kind of doing here? And then, you know, he realized like, oh, we're kind of, you know, I'm noticing a lot of these contracts and a lot of these things about like, you know, these, you know, oil and stuff like that. It's like, why is this, you know, like a background thing, you know, in comparison to what we're doing here? And then just kind of realized like, we're not really here for what we were, you know, told to be doing, huh? And just kind of realized it was all, you know, bullshit. And, you know, when he came back home and realized like, you know, had some time to, you know, like, you know, kind of be at home and like, you know, read up about stuff and, you know, just like try to readapt to stuff, and kind of realize that, yeah, it is a little, you know, it is kind of bullshit. So, you know, after that, you know, he, you know, I got into an engineer for a while, then, I forgot what happened, but he lost his job at that for a while. Then he ended up working at my my workplace for a while, and then basically had, you know, all sorts of other crazy shit happened to him recently, and now he's just trying to get back on his feet again. 6 points, and then I said it ain't worth it. Yeah. I always tend to be kind of interested, you know, about like, you know, just kind of like the general background, like military culture and like, you know, what, you know, people have to say about it and stuff. Because growing up, I used to be kind of interested into it, but, you know, when I kind of, you know, you know, once I started, you know, turning into an adult, and I started learning a little bit more about, you know, just a lot of things that just our own government has done, you know, to a certain extent, especially when it comes to a lot of the, you know, special lies that have, you know, been told and stuff when it comes to, you know, when it comes to, you know, like Afghanistan and Iraq and shit. I was like, I don't really want to be a part of that. Then eventually I was just like, I don't even really know if this is, you know, like, you know, my forte, so to speak. Because for a long time, you know, I think just because of, you know, grow up, you know, and what I was seeing and stuff, just being a little kid, you know, just like maybe think like, oh, that's something I would love to do. You know, it's like, I'd love to grow up and, you know, do that or something. You know, like the equivalent of like, you know, what do you want to be as a kid growing up? Being like an astronaut or something. You know, it's kind of like, you know what I, you know, like what my answer would have been at the time. Ooh, what's this? Got some food. Ooh, this cake looks delicious. Is that like a no-bake cookie ball or something? Because that looks fire. That looks amazing. God, jeez. Damn, dog. What the hell? The fuck? And that looks really good, too. Is that shrimp? Looks like shrimp. It's just better to defend better home to make rich man richer, else the same way. Yeah. Because, I mean, if anything, I mean, it's just like, especially with, you know, what our government's been, you know, represented for, you know, really for, you know, for quite a long time. I mean, arguably probably even since it's, you know, like, early exceptions. I mean, it's like, it's not really something that, you know, I, you know, would exactly be able to, like, advocate for. It doesn't necessarily mean, you know, it can't be, you know, something that I could, you know, it's just that, you know, because there has been times, especially in American history, where I'd argue that there have been, like, you know, fluctuations of, yeah, times where people have at least, you know, gotten close to achieving, you know, what arguably could be, you know, something great for America, so to speak, when it comes to actually being a prosperous place. Especially when it came to, like, a lot of the different elements of, like, the labor movement, which also in a lot of ways were tied in with, like, veterans, especially during the Great War area, during the interwar period. Because a lot of soldiers that came back home from the Great War, you know, a lot of them, you know, needed, you know, to have, you know, jobs again and shit. And, you know, pretty much, you know, had a very similar struggle in a lot of ways, you know, compared, you know, just like, you know, vets did today, you know, when it came to a lot of that shit. And especially when it came to a war that a lot of Americans at that time didn't really feel like was, you know, something they should be involved in. And the only reason why that opinion started shifting was just because of Lusitania and I think, like, the Zimmerman notes and shit. So outside of, like, a few, you know, pinnacle moments, you know, and during that time of history, I mean, there was still a lot of, you know, elements of America that, you know, just saw that as something that, you know, no one should, you know, been involved in, even with that in mind. And, you know, and brought that, a lot of that kind of struggle, and some of them were still in the, in the military, and some of them, you know, were able to get, like, jobs as, like, you know, lumberjacks or miners and stuff. But, you know, and if anything, we're able to use a lot of those things that they've learned, you know, from war and stuff to, you know, bring back, you know, when it comes to trying to, like, you know, fight for better conditions for themselves. I mean, so far to the point of, like, things like the Battle of Blair Mountain, like, because a lot of these dudes, like, straight up raided, like, armory trains, like, you know, trains full of guns and ammo and shit, you know, just to, like, you know, fucking, you know, do their shit. I mean, it was a pretty badass, like, type of thing that that they had to do, essentially, considering, like, the back and forth, constant, violent back and forths, too, you know, between, like, company and police at the time versus, you know, workers just trying to exist, especially ones that, you know, came back from having to fight a war that, you know, they thought, you know, meant something. No, wait, what is this? Huh? Draconis gravidaceus, this is... What? Parasite of years affecting various species of mammal, including humans. What? Wait, this fictitious part of medical horror. Oh, it's okay, honestly, dude. I thought this was fucking real, bro. You really got me there for a second. I honestly deadass thought that was gonna be real. Because I was about to be like, what the fuck? It's like, man. It's like, don't women have it bad enough? It's like, holy shit. But, okay. It's fake. I had to go down there at the bottom to see if there's, like, something about this. Like, cause there's, like, no way, dude. No way. Jesus. Here. Man, Wish I knew exactly what the fuck Rip sent me earlier. Because I want to try to find out, like, what his little link was about. It was something about, like, an investigatory, like, Poogate thing. I don't even know what it'd be, though. That's the problem. For stomach shit like that, not exclusive to pregnant women. Well, yeah, like, I mean, there's obviously, like, parasites and, like, you know, like, tapeworms and different worms and shit, like, that go in, that can really heavily infect your digestive tract and shit. I mean, but, like, you know, something that would be, you know what, honestly, that probably would be a thing. Dude, honestly, like, I remember, you know, like, I remember, like, when I was kind of growing up, like, I had, like, a time where I was, like, because I remember we had Comcast before it was Xfinity at the time. And, like, it had, like, this little menu where you can kind of check out different little things, you know, on demand or whatever the fuck. And I always like to check out weird medical shit sometimes. And there would be, like, you know, shows like Monsters Inside Me or, like, you know, rare, like, you know, things that, like, you know, parasites or tapeworms and shit like that would do and whatever the fuck. And it's like, and honestly, you know, like, it's rare, but sometimes, you know, like, you know, tapeworm that normally will be in, like, your gut will sometimes find a way to get out of that and then somehow end up in, like, your bladder or some shit, or, like, in your brain, or, like, or whatever the fuck. And it's just like, it's like, holy shit. It's like, damn, dude. It's like, man, Mother Nature, you fucking scary. Azukov forgets to pause meditation music before leaving. A dog when I arrive home. Just pries open the third eye and just ascends. Just whoa, dude. Yeah, I mean, Zukov has already kind of done that. He just likes to try to hide it. Because he's a goof. Because he's just a goof. He's just silly goof. Little goofball. Actually, a little goofball indeed. You look like Doge. The way he was looking at me, he kind of looked like, you know, the Doge meme for a minute. And it was cute. He really does have, like, a very Doge-like face, honestly. And it's awesome. I just need to, like, catch him when he's doing that and take a picture of it just to, like, do a side-by-side comparison. Because, I mean, he really does it really well. And it's just so cute. He's just so adorable. What are you doing? Oh, just being a little ball. I thought he was trying to get into something. Fucking a goofy little mutt. A goofy little mutt indeed. Here. Let's see what little things he got for Cal. Let's see what little silly things does he got for us. We already reacted to one little thing. Now we need to see another. Oh, is it? Oh, I think I actually found the video he wanted me to look at. I didn't see it initially, but I think this is it. Stretch himself. Wait, I think this is the video that he wanted me to see. I think I found it. Eventually, I've never forgotten to lock your door. You just have been unlocking of telekinesis. True. That is true. You do be like that.
All right, guys. I wanted to end this show with a fun story. And this right here is nothing but glorious, glorious fun. So, look, I have to say...
Wait, hold on. Oh, shit. I forgot this. There we go.
Now and then the Resistance liberals, man, they cook something up special. Like, they are all about that Trump-hating life, man. But it's sort of pure in a way. It's so pure. It's so sincere. It's like nothing but vitriolic hatred all day. And they come up with some of the greatest theories of all time. So, this one caught my interest, and I went down the rabbit hole on it. For those of you who've never heard it, it goes a little something like this. Donald Trump shits himself regularly. Donald Trump has no control of his bowels. He's what's called incontinent. Now, I believe it was Adam Kinzinger, the former Republican.
So I'm just gonna say this right off the bat. From my understanding, you know what? Was it last night or like the night before that? Like we were murmuring about this. I think I remember. Like, was it Venom that mentioned something about this? Like, I know it was definitely before this video for sure. I have to feel like I feel like I remember, you know, mentioning this at one point, or at least, you know, talking about for just a brief moment. Also, I believe this. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think it might have been on DFF or something. I don't even remember where I heard it from, but I remember hearing this pretty recently. Like, and honestly, yes, I believe it. And from my understanding, maybe it will be explained here. The theory is that he was such a cokehead and snorted so much shit that it basically, I guess, apparently, if you're a long-term daily cokehead type of person, like that can like fuck your gut up to the point where it's like your bowels are just destroyed, I guess. And if that's the case, then I think just by that logic alone, then yes. I saw it in a TJ video. Oh, I think that's oh, you know what? Was it that TJ video about like the Trump versus Biden poll thing or whatever? Or like what's the one word you would describe or some shit? I think it was that video. Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, I think it was that. I remember now. I think it might have been that. Either way, I guess where I heard it from ain't really important. What's important, though, is that, like, I believe this. And, I mean, you know, and honestly, it's just like, realistically, I mean, considering the fact, like I said, with his likely very heavy coke use and shit, it probably is likely. I mean, I got a little something that just kind of did there. But, like, I mean, another thing, too, that I think, you know, enforces this is his horrible, fucking, disgusting-ass diet, bro. I mean, you know this guy eats like a fucking pig, bro. In fact, honestly, pigs eat better than the son of a bitch. So it's like, that's honestly an insult to pigs. But, I mean, it's like, this dude certainly, definitely, like, you know, like, has a really bad diet. Like, he does not treat his gut well. And if that's the case, then, oh, yeah. Like, this guy's definitely, you know, got an issue of maintaining the bowels, you know what I'm saying? He certainly does.
I don't know if is he still a Republican or is he an independent now? I don't know. But anyway, he restarted this dialogue because he came out the other day and said, look, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Trump smells horrible, bro. And everybody around him knows that, and they say it. Everybody knows.
Dude, I mean, just looking at Trump, I never, you know, would imagine him smelling good. He always seems like a dude that just would smell rank and gross as fuck.
He smells horrible, dog. And so the resistance liberals were like, oh, yes, yummy in my tummy. So they resurrected this theory, which had been floated before, but it went deeper than I expected, where trending on Twitter, I'm not kidding about this, trending on Twitter was hashtag Trump smells. That was one. And another one that was trending, which actually a while back also trended, it was hashtag Diaper Don. Now, as you're about to see, they're serious. They're not like, it's funny, right? Like, it's funny and it's like a meme and everything, but when you go down the rabbit hole, nah, people are like, no, you don't understand. Like, we're dead serious about this. He shits himself. All right, look, I'm just your humble servant. You guys be...
And honestly, you know what? I'm, like I've said before, I'm willing to believe this. And, like, and honestly, out of all the things that, like, you know, when it comes to, like, these resistance... Yeah, I'll flip these up. Like, when it comes to, like, the resistant libs on... Like, there's a lot of shit, like, you know, oh, literally, like, unequivocal puppet to Russia and Putin, blah, 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 you know, like, you know, shit like that. I mean, there's just stuff that are hyperbolic as fuck and just beyond absurd, you know, as far as I'm concerned. But, like, you know, when it comes to, like, this, I mean, it really does kind of feel like, oh, no, yeah, like, you know, we might have been, you know, pretty cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on some stuff, but no, like, this one's actually, like, look, I promise you, this one's real. Like, we're not beating around the bush. Like, I mean, considering consistent on that one, and the lack of like I guess emotional attachment to it, I think really kind of confirms it to me, where they're just like, yeah, this just what it is. Yeah, he smells like shit because he shits himself a lot.
Let me take you on a ride down this conspiracy theory rabbit hole, and we'll have fun with it. So here's the first one that I wanted to play for you. Watch this.
So when you post something and then someone bigger than you, like Adam Kinzinger, confirm it. And years ago I posted...
Don't do cocaine, kids. You might shit yourself.
about Trump being kicked out of Keen's Steakhouse in Manhattan.
Okay, this guy literally looks like he's still stuck in the 1990s, dude. Oh my god, bro. Dude, ugh.
Meeting with my father in 1983. Because his smell was so offensive. This wasn't an elderly thing. It was 1983. I wouldn't make fun of Trump today if it was an elderly thing. That's not what we do on the left. It happens to elderly people. Trump wasn't elderly. We didn't complain. The table next to him complained, and the table behind him complained. We smelled it, but my father and I didn't complain about it. Trump was not elderly. The smell was so fucking offensive that they finally had to ask him to leave. And he did leave, quietly, right by us, and it wafted us. Trump's been shitting all over himself for almost 40 fucking...
All right, that's one.
40 fucking... Speak for yourself. Yeah, it's like, that's not what we're doing. It's like, yeah, I was kind of wanting to possibly be like, dude, speak for yourself, Grandpa. Trying to look like a howdy do fellow kids reject. I mean, it's like, come on.
That's one. All right, I got more for you. So this one right here, this guy's one of the chief, like, resistance liberal leaders. This guy, Brooklyn Dad Defiant. These guys are hilarious. But anyway, so he does a podcast.
And they look like the most stereotypical, like, fucking liberal dads ever. Holy shit.
With a guy who used
Why
to
does he
work
have a mushroom hat on?
The Celebrity Apprentice, which was Donald Trump's biggest show, claim to fame. I mean,
This shit looks like a fucking mushroom cap, bro.
Really, it was like to that point in his life, it was without a doubt the most successful out of anything he'd ever done. Because remember, he had Trump vodka, he had Trump steaks, he had all these different things, and he went bankrupt in a number of them. I mean, his businesses went bankrupt at the time at least 6 times, and the Celebrity Apprentice was the thing where he got paid well, and it was just like an unmitigated success, right? Well, here's somebody who used to work on the show. Listen to this.
What's the deal?
Real assistant lib is an oxymoron because they're most kowtow status quo motherfuckers you'll ever meet. Well, because the whole point is that they're resistant against the incivility of people like Trump, even though they represent the same fucking things that they do. Like, they don't like how, lack of decorum and, lack of civility and how they smell and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's just shit like that. Now, Trump is understandable. But, like, I mean, they do the same thing to actual leftists and to, like, anyone that, kind of steps out of bounds of what they consider civil and, part of the proper mannerly decorum or whatever the fuck. Whatever they consider, like, what would be normally seen as, like, peasantry and, like, shit like that.
The main question I need to know. What's the deal with the diaper rumors?
That's true. Sorry to cut you off.
When you say it's true, like, on a scale of, like, 1 to 10, I definitely absolutely know.
Witnessed, bro. Witnessed him soiling himself in a rage, sitting there on the Apprentice set, Celebrity Apprentice set, because he can't read. The same thing, he flew into a rage over the word arbitrage one time, okay? Yeah. Soils himself, has to go off set, gets cleaned up by Keith Schiller. Keith's nickname was Wet Wipes, okay? The crew called it the shit show. Sorry to curse, but can you imagine being the boom operator? You're wearing your headphones, holding the mic above him, and you hear that? He did it in the Oval Office. There's a clip of him doing it with the Turkish president, right? Erdogan. I always say his name wrong. It's not a hard G. Yeah. And the Feinstein and Dianne Feinstein, and they're sitting there in the Oval Office, and he clearly, has some kind of bowel movement. But
wait, what? Okay, we need to see clips of this, actually. Dude, please tell me we get clips.
See them look like they hear it. But you can look up videos, your viewers can look it up, and you'll find photos of him with the outline of Depends. And I'll tell you why he wears that. Because speed addiction makes you incontinent, right? Opiates make you the opposite, make you constipated. Speed makes you go, right? So he eats fast food all day and meatloaf, like that's all he ever eats, you know. So
Oh my god, this guy's nailing everything that I was just saying earlier, dude. He's nailing it all on the fucking dome. Dude, you know, I was mentioning that, you know, at the very beginning, you know, before we kept going further. Like, dude, yeah, because he's like, you know, speed freak and eats like McDonald's fucking fast food and meatloafs and weird shit all day. Like, yeah, it all just, you know, culminates into just bowels that essentially are just like a open sewer line just ready to
graphics, you know, and then he snorts speed, and he's almost 70 years old at the time. He's in his mid-60s, so he just lets it rip, and you never know, you know. So you got to have some insurance against the shark, you know, and that depends.
So look, I will say this: the speed thing is definitely true because, and you could see this. Remember that very famous Trump tweet where he was like, "I love Mexicans," and it was like Cinco de Mayo, and he had the taco bowl. You could see behind him, his drawer was a little open, and you see a lot of this very specific version of Sudafed that at the time came from the UK. See, the US had taken out the active ingredient in Sudafed that made you like really, it was like speed. It was a massive upper. The US took that ingredient out, but the UK kept it in. And so he had the UK version of Sudafed, which is a massive upper. He had that right behind him. And then of course there's the famous debate with Hillary Clinton where he keeps snorting and sniffing.
Dude, I remember that too. I mean, the key signs have always been there. I mean, the Sudafed drawer, it does that all the time, by the way. It ain't just the Hillary debates where that happened. But like every now and then, even during his presidency, occasionally he'll be like, in between shit. Especially during his campaign rallies, he did a lot in his campaign rallies. Like, you could tell when he was really up on his speed.
Go back and watch it. It's not like that part's not in doubt. That part is not in question. The things I just told you are facts. And so I have no doubt he takes some sort of upper on a regular basis, right? I have no doubt about that part. The rest of it, I'm gonna let y'all decide what you think, right? But
I'm assuming it's true. Like, I'm going with it. And the thing is, like, I feel like, you know, if it really was a problem and he wanted to, like, you know, try to, you know, watch it or trying to maintain it, he would probably take something to counteract it or something like that. But he literally don't give a fuck. Like, he just lets it rip, dude. I mean, and that's kind of the difference here. It's just like, I mean, I feel like, you know, a normal person would try to find a better way to manage that problem. Like, maybe take a medication to kind of help, you know, like, you know, make him constipated, I guess, you know, or whatever the fuck. You know, it's like, you know, just some way to maintain, you know, the issue so it's not a problem. You know, I'm assuming he would still have to wear the pens and stuff, but nonetheless, I mean, at least, you know, you're managing it. Like, he don't give a fuck. He just wears them and just lets it rip, and if it does, it does, and he just cleans himself up later and has, like, you know, wet wipes, I guess, go over there to help fix the issue. It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
I got another one for you before we give our conclusion.
The diapers is not a joke. It depends. You know, Diaper Don is trending, but it's based in reality. He would often soil himself on The Apprentice set. He's incontinent from all the speed, all the Adderall he does, the cocaine that he's done for decades. You know, all that stuff has a laxative, and it has an effect on your bowels, and his are uncontrollable. He's worn diapers since probably the 90s, but I saw it firsthand in the 2000s on Celebrity Apprentice in late 2000s, and we'd have to stop the show and change him, you know, and that was Keith Schiller's job. He would take him off set, he would wipe him down. Our nickname for Keith was Wet Wipes. It's not a joke.
So there are a lot of people that are coming up about, you know, maintaining this very consistent story. This just, you know, makes me believe that this is, you know, more true, and, you know, so.
Several times. And you've seen it happen while he's in office. You've seen he was in the Oval Office with Erdogan, and you could clearly hear him sort of evacuating himself. He did it in front of Senator Feinstein, Dianne Feinstein, at a press conference. So he does it, and he almost sits there like and unaware of it, you know. And one time I saw Ivanka have to go kind of whisper in his ear, and then Keith came and took him off stage. He'll also do it in a rage, and this is where it gets really drug related. He'll start to freak out. You know, one time there was the word arbitrage on a cue card, and he started screaming that the script department was setting him up. You're setting me up, and he just freaked out, and then very loudly evacuated his bowels.
Oh, very loudly.
Guy was holding the boom mic, was tearing up. So that's where the nickname, the SHIT show, came from. That was the crew nickname for Celebrity Apprentice.
Shit
so
show.
when you hear Diaper Don, it's not a joke. He tries to hide it. I'll give you one more fact. If you look up the video of him when he was doing the WWF thing, he tackles a guy on the ground outside of the ring, and you can clearly see the outline of the Depends in his pants. And that was back in the early 90s. So he's lost control of his bowels. He's lost control of his brain. That's who he is, Diaper Don.
Goddamn. All right, so
Damn, just murked. Keep in mind there are people draw or having AI draw pictures of Trump with a six-pack. Like Ben Garrison.
mentioned a number of different instances there. Look, there are times where you look at his pants and they fit really weird, and there are some times where you could see him, a picture from the side or like a back angle where he's walking by where you're like, why is homeboy so thick, man?
Because he's wearing diaper, bro. He's wearing a big, thick, dumpy diaper, bro.
He's got thick-ass legs, and look, I would play the WWE one for you, but they knock you immediately on copyright, so I can't play that. But according to him, he says you can see the outline of the Depends in his pants very clearly when he's doing that. But I'll give you this one. This one is not copyrighted. This was the very famous Dianne Feinstein moment that I want to play for you. This was referenced multiple times by those different people who worked on the...
yeah, I really want to see these clips.
So today we're here in a bipartisan fashion to show leadership in an effort to end this senseless violence.
I heard it.
And violence, it can be ended. So today we're here in a bipartisan fashion to show leadership in an effort to end this senseless violence. And it can be ended.
All right, look, so I'll tip...
Oh my god. That was so audible, dude.
Tell you my thoughts on this. I believe that he takes uppers all the time part. I definitely believe that, because I thought that for a long time. There's a lot of evidence of that. The shit himself part.
Come on, Kyle. Don't be like that. Dude, he definitely did. There was like a big rump, and it sounded like something was, building that up. And then it just, oh my god. And then, at the end, it just went, as it all finally, finalized, the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, dude. Nah, bro.
The reason why I'm really skeptical is just this very simple fact. That they keep bringing up, both of those guys who worked on The Celebrity Apprentice kept bringing up, like, oh yeah, this guy's job was to wipe him. We called him Wet Wipes or whatever, like whatever that dude's name is who did that, allegedly. And I was thinking, like, if you're a grown-ass man, and you're wearing Depends, and you shit yourself, you're sharting on a regular basis, bro. The last thing you would ever do is have somebody be in the room with you involved with the whole cleanup process. You'd be like, yo, I'm on my own on this one. Lock the door with 3 padlocks. And
dude, hold on.
I'll take care of...
Man, Kyle's forgetting the fact that, this is Trump we're talking about. He, thinks, high and mighty of himself. Like, he's just he's gonna want, some servant, working on him and shit instead. Like, there ain't no way, dude. Like, he's definitely gonna have, some manservant, be doing it for him. Like, I mean, come on, it's Trump we're talking about here.
Is by myself. If I'm sharting up a storm, dog, you bet your ass cheeks, no pun intended, that nobody's gonna know. I'm gonna be in the bathroom cleaning it up myself. I will straight up burn the evidence. I mean, the idea that you would have somebody wiping you as a grown-ass man when he's a mega wealthy celebrity, obviously that wouldn't happen, right? So... Look, I'll leave it up to all you guys, whatever you think happened, but I love the Resistance Liberals are awesome. Oh, they come up with some of the best stuff. It's so creative too, right? I will say this to the Resistance Liberals. If they had just dropped that thing about the person wiping him and changing him, I think you may be dealing with a story that's so powerful and there's enough truth in it where everybody would be like, oh yeah, Trump shits himself on the regular. The Resistance Liberals are all in on that, but I think normie world is sort of like, come on, he doesn't shit himself, don't be ridiculous. Y'all were close. Y'all were close to absolutely nailing it. But me,
You know what? I think, you know, they nail it, dude. I mean, I don't even care, dude. I mean, I believe it. They nailed it with me. I'm just gonna say that much. They nailed it with me on this one. Bill, no. What we got here? What's going on here? Threads. No, Billy. He was the best friend. Wait, Billy's back. Billy, you know, is dead. My name is William. Oh, shit. Well. Damn. Well, son. Billy is no longer here, for he has been corrected. For I am William. Good sir. Bill became a narc. He was a fucking narc, dude. A bloody goddamn fucking narc, I say. Here. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh shit, Matt Binder's live? He's doing call-ins?
Joe Pesci Yule log on Christmas.
Is he still doing them? I don't know if he is or not. You know what? I'm gonna keep that in mind if he's still doing it around. Oh shit, there's a video of... Oh my god, there is a video of that Bill Maher and Seth MacFarlane going at it. Oh shit. Oh, let's go, dude. Speaking of Bill.
MacFarlane, he did such a good job against Bill Maher. Okay, before we move on to some other stuff, this is such a good job. And no, this has nothing to do with comedy at all. I would never.
Sounds like it sounds sick. Oh shit.
Seth MacFarlane's comedy. This
Sniffy
is
Sniffy over there.
Just watch. Absolutely cooks him. Absolutely cooks him on the vaccine stuff.
But then why are...
You know, speaking of, you know, like... I actually was able to meet with my aunt who had COVID when before I went up there, because she ended up being negative while I was there. I hung out with her for a little bit, and I also was a little nervous about maybe being sick, you know, when I got there, but you know what? Still here, not sick at all, so yay. And hey, that's why vaccines fucking work, don't they? You know, because, you know, I made sure I got that shit, you know, like when it first came out, and got myself a little booster, you know, earlier in last year. But I was meaning to do it, you know, before I left, but didn't get a chance to get that going. But you know, but I'm gonna make sure I keep up to date with it, you know, for the beginning of the year. At least just make sure I keep up with that. At the minimal, at least yearly, but I want to at least, you know, try to do them bi-yearly. But anyway, but that's besides the point. I'm being a good boy.
Doctors wrong about so much.
And it pays off.
And
Well,
very
they're
often,
right about a lot too.
And yes, but very often people who aren't doctors have been right or
But it
about.
was really fitting. It was.
Like what would be an example of that?
I would think this country did not allow for natural immunity to be considered.
Oh my god. Oh no.
A subject dear to your heart. Like, even if you had the disease, you still had to get a vaccine. That's powerful, stupid. They don't do that in Europe.
Wait, what? Yeah, they do. Excuse me? Huh? Yeah, because, hey, guess what? Even if you're, you know, even if you were sick with it, you know, having a vaccine helps kind of increase the immunity. Like, because, you know, there's also things called other variants that exist. So, I mean, like, just because you're naturally immune to one specific variant doesn't mean you're immune to the rest of them. That's where vaccines come into play, dumb fuck. Oh my god, here we go. Here we go.
They do that here. There's mandatory vaccination in grades in schools.
Right, but if you already had the disease, you have natural immunity. We didn't seem to believe in that.
That was
here.
debunked, though. I mean, that's
not debunked.
Don't you know people?
Yeah, it is.
COVID 4 or 5 times. I do. That's not natural immunity. There's no immunity there. You've had COVID 5 times.
Yeah, because in a lot of cases, and usually it's, you know, different variations of it. Because there's a lot of different variations of COVID that exist out there. Shocker. Wow. It's like, wow, that's a thing? Yes, it is. Wow, who would have thought? That's, I mean, when, you have something, like when it comes to microbiology or just things that, tend to be smaller when it comes to life. I guess, viruses are, like, technically alive, but not in the same traditional way as, like, other life with, DNA. They have RNA and blah, blah, blah. Either way, besides the point. Like, the smaller a thing is, the more the more they replicate. Like, that's why when it comes to, like, humans, we, usually takes, about, like, 20 years until, another human comes around, usually, right? Like, when it comes to, like, reproduction. And when it comes to things like bacteria, they pretty much, like, replicate like that, right? So it's like, I mean, the more likely something is to replicate, the more likely, mutations or adaptations to different environments, things like that are to happen. And that is certainly no exception to things like viruses, so it's like, the more, a virus, spreads, the more likely there's going to be mutations and thus variations of the same type of virus. So just because you have a natural immunity to one doesn't mean that, you might get it again because it's a slightly different mutated version of what you had earlier. I mean, sometimes, yeah, you can get sick from the same thing twice, too. Just because you have maybe a better immunity doesn't mean you're, like, going to be completely immune to it, forever, or even really entirely. Like, you can easily, like, for example, like, get the common cold, and then, like, a week or two later after getting over it, get it again. I mean, it's like, it happens with anything else, so why wouldn't this be different? Because obviously, it isn't. Like, when it comes to a spread of a virus or, any other, disease like that, it, hey, shocker, behaves really no differently than any other, way of spreading it. Shocker. Who would ever have thought that?
Had too many vaccines. I didn't have COVID.
Did the vaccine gave you COVID?
Such an idiot.
Well, that's certainly nothing unscientific about the fact that the vaccine, which does weaken you in order to strengthen you,
Says to
Huh?
all vaccines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I mean, arguably probably not enough to really actually make you feel sick or anything like that, because, I mean, I've gotten vaccines and outside of maybe a sore arm and maybe at worst feeling a little drowsy, for a day. Like, I mean, there isn't really any difference, between the day-to-day life of, like, when, getting the vaccine shit. Literally the worst thing is just, like, a sore arm. I mean, so, it's like, I guess so. I mean, obviously, people react to it differently, but, I mean, arguably, if it weakens you, it's pretty negligible. It did not feel any different. Yeah. I mean, maybe your immune system is slightly weakened for, like, a moment because because your immune system's more focused on the new, chunks of, virus and stuff like that, that, were injected and all that shit. I mean, so, even in that case, I mean, you probably wouldn't even notice. Like, I mean, that's usually the case. That's why I was just kind of like, huh? It's like it weakens you. Like, what? You become, like, very fickle and you're like, like as soon as you get it, like, that's not how it works. It's like, at worst, you might feel drowsy for, like, a day. At worst.
While you're in a weakened state, yes. That's why so many people, like me, got it, did not have it while the thing was raging, and I was taking zero precautions, because I was never that afraid of it.
But that's anecdotal. Like, I've had every booster there is to
anecdotal
have,
yeah.
And I have never had COVID. I get a flu shot once a year. I haven't had the flu in 20 years.
Right. Well, I haven't either, and I don't get a flu shot.
Okay, so this is all anecdotal,
right.
but you know the difference between anecdotal and statistical.
I do.
No, he doesn't.
No, yeah.
I mean,
like any other right-winger, they don't understand the difference. Bill's just a right-winger at this point. Yeah, like he's literally talking like some weird, like, anti-vax conservative.
he only does it on issues that suit him. I can't believe it's not Peter Griffin, it's Brian.
No.
And statistically, you still have a 90% better chance of not being hospitalized, not dying if you're vaccinated.
Okay, well, but that's assuming all people are alike, and that is one of the giant fallacies in your way of thinking. We are...
What? No, it's not. Like, this motherfucker's applying that. Excuse me, bitch? Like, you assume that everyone's, like, natural, like, immune systems are on an equal level, and just having natural immunity and just not taking precautions, is a like a better way to go, and it should have been considered when that's not even, the case. Like, people's immune systems are different. Like, what? Like, some people are autoimmune prone. If they get sick, they're very more likely to die, even if for something as common as like a common cold. Like, I mean, so, like, what is this? It's like, what? I mean, there's a reason why when, vaccines are available, to at least, on an equal level, like, when it comes to getting, as many people's vaccinated as possible, it's because, like, it's just a bare minimal standard of, like, what, is needed, to try to maximize immunity and minimize the spread of a disease. That's the point. And yeah, there are definitely, going to be rare exceptions, and maybe some people won't completely react well to, vaccine, and shit. But not to the point where they're going to, like, die or get immediately sick or something. It's just absurd. I still look for a Joe Brandon video. No, I think I found it. It was that Kyle video, right? About Trump shitting himself, because we saw it earlier. I finally found it. There are variations, so for the most part, our immune systems fight things off the same way, but we do better than others. Yeah, and like I said, there are also people who are, like, autoimmune prone and shit like that. So, I mean, everyone's immune systems obviously biologically react the same way, but, like, people's immune systems are different, depending on how they treat their own health and all these other fucking factors.
Like, yes, I would recommend and have recommended the COVID vaccine for the high-risk people. Like, if you're 90 or fat, get it. Absolutely, you need it. Some people don't. But you had Djokovic didn't need it. But you had,
like, I mean, yeah, you do. If you want to minimize, like, the fucking spread of a disease, you make it more necessary to get a vaccine, dipshit. God damn.
Aaron Rodgers didn't need it.
But you had something like 1,900 kids who died.
You're like a million, Bill. I know.
That's right.
Like, Bill's like a million years old. Like, I mean, he's like, if you're old, you don't get it. It's like, yeah, Bill, then get it. You old ass crap and dementia out of fucking freak.
Died from the vaccine.
I told him to get vaccinated, so he got a new doctor. Oh my god. Dude, what the fuck, man? These people are so dumb. It's like, I don't like this doctor because he's giving me sound medical advice. Let me go to a crank. Like, what the fuck? When he got COVID, he literally laid out for a whole month. Yeah, and I'm sure if he got vaccinated, he would probably only be laid out for a week. I mean, it's like, good lord. If at all, frankly. I mean, it's like, what a dipshit, dude. I mean, at this point, I don't really care that much about it anymore, just because, like, for the most part, they're really fucking themselves over, not anyone else, because any rational human being would just have at least gotten, like, some, vaccine by this point. But, like, because if they don't want to at this rate, well, then they're the ones who are going to be, fucking around and finding out when they get sick. So that, if they want to, like, be knocked out for, like, 3 weeks on end, like, barely able to fucking breathe because their, like, lungs are so gunked up with fucking COVID phlegm, then that's their fault. I mean, it's like, I mean, at this point, I don't really have, that much of a, care of, like, get it. Whatever the fuck, because at this point, it just impacts them more than anyone else. The people that actually, have taken the precautions and shit like that are not going to be really that affected. I really think he went to a quack also because apparently his doctor is actually a chiropractor. Oh my god, he actually did go to a crank! Oh my god, dude, holy fuck, man. I kind of love him sometimes. You just gotta love the just insanity of these people.
He's like, I don't think that's right. Yeah, it is. What do you mean?
None. The New York and the thinking there is that, well, probably most kids are not going to die.
It's funny because he says, like, oh, if you're fat, you should get it. And it's like, dog, what percentage of Americans are obese? Like, even on that front, you're still wrong. Considering how fat Americans are, then yes, mass inoculation is a necessity, okay?
Seems like an obvious.
It's really...
I mean, Americans tend to be pretty heavily, overweight a lot. In a lot of cases. I mean, if that's the case, especially when they make this type of argument, where they try to, like, ride the fence of, like, well, I'm okay with it if you're, like, overweight, old or stuff, you know. It's like, well, hey, guess what? That's a lot of Americans then. That's at least like half the country in one way, shape, or form. You know, or, you know, so it's like, I mean, so it's like at that logic, are you advocating for mass inoculation? Because that's what you would be saying then. All properly regulated in the U.S. because freedom. I mean, they really should. Like, I don't mind if, you know, like they want to, like, you know, advertise this like a massage parlor, because that's one thing, because that's basically what they are. Just like, you know, like medical versions of massage parlors, essentially. Like, they're just like basically a medical crank version of that. Well, at least the massage parlors, or at least, you know, kind of, you know, say overtly they are, because they'll be like, oh, you can have like these heated stones and incense and blah, blah, blah. Like, they kind of overtly advertise it like that. I mean, you know, you kind of go in there just kind of, you know, for the vibe, basically. You know, but for chiropractors, like, people go in there expecting to actually get, like, their back fixed or something. It's like, that's just like, they're nothing but, like, overrated fucking massage parlor, basically. We should be able to give medical advice and pretend to be a replacement for a medical doctor. Exactly. Like, I mean, it's another example of, like, where so much of this fucking country and so many weird fucks, you know, just love to ride this line, dude. I mean, you know, because that's kind of what Bill, you know, to kind of bring back to this is what he's advocating for. He's like, you know, basically this kind of weird toe in the line of, like, you know, medical quackery and, like, science, so to speak. Though the science that he's talking about is also mostly bullshit, because he just wants to fit, you know, the narrative, you know, that he's trying to push, because he's a conservative dumb fuck. It's actually more useful also because it can be used as part of physical therapy. Yeah, I mean, and also, like, I mean, there are doctors that, you know, can recommend, you know, massages as, like, a part of physical therapy and things like that. They just don't overtly recommend chiropractors unless, you know, there's something sus about them, because they happen to be quacks themselves. But, you know, every now and then, like, massages, you know, tend to be a part of, like, things like physical therapy and shit. Because they can have, like, their uses. I mean, even chiropractic can, but, again, it's just like an overrated massage parlor and shit. Because, you know, getting your back popped a little bit and stretching it out and stuff like that every now and then, I mean, I'm sure that, you know, definitely can do some, you know, wonders occasionally, especially if you got, like, you know, that one, like, fucking pinched nerve that you just can't get to or whatever. You know what I mean? You know, so it's like, I mean, you know, I'm sure, you know, like, it can have the uses, but the thing is, like, to rely on it as, like, actual, like, you know, medical, you know, science type of shit or whatever the fuck, you know, that's where the problem lies. Like, you know, I mean, for me, it's like, you know, because I've done it every now and then, just because, like, you know, back's feeling a little today, so why not? I got a little money to splurge. Why not hang out for, you know, a little bit and get, like, a little massage thing? And, hey, you know, it's alright. I don't do it all the time, you know, it's just kind of like, pretty much like a yearly thing for me, honestly. Like, I will do it, like, once a year. Yeah, that's nice.
Trading. To have this,
but that's also the difference. Like, I don't treat it like some medical practice thing to help, like, align my back or some shit. It just, you know, helps me, make me feel a little loosey-goosey, makes me feel a little good, and, you know, and give it another week or two, then I'll feel like, fuck. You know, I'll feel the same way again.
Having it, like, he's literally having this conversation in 2023. Okay?
24 now.
It's so dumb. The entire purpose of the vaccines is to ensure, or to get as close to a 100% as you possibly can, that you won't die when you get COVID, okay? You won't take the fattest of L's, death. You won't get hospitalized. That's it. It doesn't matter.
Where am I allowed to go? Oh.
It doesn't matter how it was promoted, sold, what people thought it would do, okay? That's just it.
It's going to be max exodus on shift. One person left. 2 more guys likely leaving. It's going to be me, new guy, and a stoner dude. Dude, I found out that the new seasons that I want to go to has been delayed to the fucking spring. Like, I swear to God, it's never going to open at this point. Because, like, I swear, as soon as it does open, there will be a mass exodus at my work. But holy shit, like, goddamn, can it open up already? It's like, fuck, dude.
That's the major reason. And everyone has a different motivation for spreading that, right? Capital owners want it because we are livestock, and you vaccinate your livestock. That's it. Why do you vaccinate your livestock? You don't want your livestock to die. And if we are livestock, then yes, our bosses, who also inoculated themselves, and in some instances, inoculated themselves first, okay? They want you to get vaccinated too, so that you can get the fuck back to work. So that the worst aspects of COVID are limited.
So then things could run, business as usual, and then you can make money. Which, I mean, if you want to look at it from a capitalist perspective, is, how they would perceive it. And, and honestly, I mean, I guess isn't necessarily wrong, but still, I guess, a fucked way to look at it. But that's why that system's fucked anyway.
That's it.
And that's also usually why you have mass exodus at work.
This is just Brian Griffin reading a 2021 Institute of Virology public health recommendation, and the vaccine skeptical people were all moved by this. Convinced me that we need mascots for public health like Japan does. I mean, yeah, that would be pretty far in general. All right, let's
From
continue.
COVID. So why bother with the vaccine? Because it's only going to be a few hundred kids, right?
I don't know how many kids died. That seems very high to me. I know at one point the New York Times grossly, talking about misinformation, they had to apologize. They got it completely wrong. She reported something like 900,000 children have been hospitalized, and it was like 63,000. So
that's still a lot of kids, isn't it?
Maybe those facts should be checked.
Papers can get it wrong, and they print retractions, and you know this.
But also, with COVID or from COVID, did 1,900 children die with COVID? Yes, it's a whole different story.
Okay, but take 7 million people worldwide. 7 million people worldwide who died from COVID. Like, if even just a fraction of that is a fraction who died of COVID than who died with COVID, even just a fraction of that that's still a lot of fucking people. That's a lot of fucking people.
Yes, and... But what? Okay, some.
What the fuck? Did you really get stumped over that? Are you serious? What the fuck do you want me to say? Fuck him, I don't know. It's like, I mean, what? Like, I mean, he just, like, literally, like, stumbled over that. Like, what the fuck? What the hell, dude? What a callous piece of fucking shit, dude.
Things are... And you cannot prevent that.
You can, though. I mean,
yeah, you can, you fuckwit. Oh, my God, dude. I want to slap him so hard, dude. Oh, my God. Can we just, like, play that just absurdity back?
What? Okay, but some people...
That's a fucking people. That's a lot of fucking people.
Yes, and... But what? Okay.
What the fuck? He's like, well, yeah, well, okay, so what? They died. Sucks to be them, don't it? What the fuck?
Things are, and you cannot prevent that.
You can, though. I mean, you can prevent.
At what cost?
But what's the cost?
What do you mean at what cost? Like, what? Some money going into investing on saving lives? Like, you fuck? I mean, I might have to pay you a little more taxes or something. Meh.
Getting a vaccine. What's the
fact that you don't even have a clue what's the cost of getting a vaccine, that you don't know the answer to that. No.
Who cares? Who gives a fuck what the cost is?
You completely want to shut your eyes to the fact that there are repercussions to all medical interventions, including a vaccine. All vaccines, they say side effects just like every medication does. Sure. You can see it in the literature. They can't write it on the back, on the vaccine, so you have to dig them. And of course there is a vaccine.
What?
In court.
I mean, oh my God. Like, yeah, hey, like a lot of literally anything else when it comes to, like, medicine, yeah, sometimes there might be side effects. That's why they have them there. I mean, that doesn't mean, like, this might kill you or something, or that means it's immediately bad. Like, I mean, there's side effects, to, taking, too many fucking vitamins. Does that mean it's bad? No. I mean, it's like, Jesus Christ, like, I mean, like, just because, there's side effects to a thing doesn't mean it's bad.
So many people have been injured. This is not a screed to say don't do vaccines. I'm not against doing vaccines.
Is it, though?
I'm against doing vaccines that I don't think I need. I should be able to decide that for myself inside my body. But yes, there are.
Yeah.
My God.
Folks, this is why you needed mass inoculation campaigns and also rules and regulations surrounding vaccines. especially at the peak of the pandemic when the vaccines first came out. Because there's a lot of fucking stupid people out there, including Bill Maher, who presents himself as a very smart guy, right? He's a liberal.
Well, was.
That's why you gotta...
We're just gonna have to wait for his, like, I Left the Left, PragerU sponsored video or some shit for, to be official. Because it certainly will happen.
That's it. Bill Maher is supposed to be the smart guy, right? I mean, he's such a well-read lib. He's the peak of, like, Reddit, not libertarianism, but, like, Reddit atheism. It's
don't be
ironic.
lumping Reddit atheists into this. What do they ever do?
Blasting a cig. A gar.
It's more like, like fucking Reddit liberalism.
He's smoking a gar while simultaneously talking about, like, well, I don't think I should be getting the vaccine.
Oh, I shouldn't be able to have it because it's my body, my choice after all, yeah. Honestly, this is actually more like r/conservative at this point. What am I even talking about? Like, I mean, it's just, like, because, I mean, this is like some of the weird shit that, they would post too. Because I've seen a few of their weird-ass shit. It's like, oh, well, these left wokies, talk about my body, my choice, but how come, suddenly they switched their tune when it comes to vaccines and stuff? What the fuck? It's like, I don't know, because there's a goddamn difference between deciding if you want an abortion or not, or changing your gender because you feel more comfortable being identified a certain way or whatever the fuck, versus, I don't know, maybe, like, not spreading a disease or not. Like, there are definitely fucking differences with that. One has way more of an impact on society, the others don't.
It's ironic also because he did get vaccinated, which you'll find out in a second. But it's just so... This is the reason why you need to have regulations surrounding this and say, like, look...
You can't prevent fires by leaving campfires unattended in the woods? What? Oh, come on.
If you don't want to get the vaccine, your travel's going to be limited, okay? Sucks to suck for you. Not because people just simply wanted to stop you from doing fun stuff, but because you're too stupid to know any better. That's it.
Kind of also reminds me of the guy with too much moonshine and, sawing off 8-gauge shotguns, and shit like that Venom was talking about from earlier. Because, gotta love, because you gotta just love people who are just legit too stupid for their own good, honestly. It kind of makes me wish, honestly, like, unironically, that the Social Darwin Award was a little bit more of a thing. Like, I mean, I know it's a meme, but goddamn. I mean, if we have, like, people who are just that dumb, it's like, how has that not happened more?
Don't you think that would come along that I would fight you for?
But don't you think
to get the vaccine?
Okay, that's a good point.
To get the vaccine,
and you bring me to my next point. Don't you think that the vitriol and the aggression towards that the anti-vaccination movement, the way it souped itself up during all this, that the next time there is a pandemic.
I want to stop fun. I want to stop Bill Maher from doing fun stuff, not just because of the vaccines, but just because he's Bill Maher. I mean, yeah. Like, I just want to stop Bill Maher from having anything that he would consider fun just for the virtue of him being Bill Maher.
Public health system.
He deserves to be miserable.
Yes, exactly, because of them and their fucking misinformation that made people skeptical. The fact that everybody came out and said, if you get the...
Yeah, because, I mean, when you have, like, people like that who, are basically literally saying, fuck you, you're, trying to kill me, are dying from COVID, like, literally, like, and saying that to the grave and shit. Yeah, like, I mean, there's going to be a lot of fucking insane, disinformation and shit because they're conspiratorial whack jobs, which you're, essentially tacitly, endorsing and defending with this fucking argument, Bill. Like, because a lot of these motherfuckers believe these same exact fucking things that you say and shit. They just don't beat around the bush saying, well, I support it, for certain people. They just don't at all. So it's like, I mean, instead of towing the fucking line like you are, like, these motherfuckers just go all out with it.
vaccine, you cannot get the disease, and then of course that was wrong. And if you get the vaccine, you can't transmit it.
But
and
they were
that was
learning
wrong.
right alongside us.
I understand.
They're not. You just said yourself, doctors are often wrong. They are, especially when they're researching a brand new disease.
And I am not blaming them for it. I'm just saying that's why there shouldn't be the science. There's no the in science. That's what.
What? Yeah, there's either like science, or there isn't. And a part of the science includes, different theories, research, and, understanding, what we know about, the science of like the world and biology, and at least in this case, when it comes to viruses. Because especially when you have a new virus that you're understanding, a part of, the science behind all of it, when it comes to learning how to prevent it, is understanding its, behavior and shit. And sometimes, every now and then things are wrong, because, we'll have a theory about how potentially it could spread or do this or that, and it's like, well, does it look like it actually isn't the way it does? It probably is more like this, and, considering what we know. It's like, that's literally a part of, like, how science works, and, like, because that's the scientific method. That's, like, it's how you do the research and shit. Like, that's a part of, like, what makes science, you fuck. Like, oh my god. Ay.
You want just to be the one true opinion.
That's not true at all. No, the strength
and you don't want it. You don't know
the strength of
it's the one true opinion. That's not. Oh my. No, that's not what it is, bitch. Like, I mean, when it comes down to like the science, that's pretty much the facts of what we understand and know. Like, and you know what? Hey, it can be subject to change. Like there, might be some, like things that we'll understand and realize, this means, this other thing that we already have learned before is actually, more like this because of what we just learned, with this thing, because of how it plays a role in it. I mean, especially when it comes to like, cosmology and shit like that and astrophysics. I mean, that happens all the time. Where it's like, we will learn something and then like later down the line, find out some other groundbreaking thing and realize, oh, this shit that we learned for the past 2 decades is a little wrong. We have to equate this and, put this into the equations of what we know. I mean, that happens all the time. So it's like, and that's literally just a part of science. Like sometimes it changes based off, new things that we learn.
That it has the capacity to evolve.
But just acknowledge that vaccines have ill effects on some people.
They do. Of course they
anecdotally.
Do. But statistically, it's here and it's here. It's like it's people. How many? 7 million people died of COVID. How many people died from the?
The likelihood that an unvaccinated person that will die of COVID, in comparison to that same vaccinated person not dying of COVID, is too statistically significant. The difference is too statistically significant, whereas a person dying of a vaccine injury is statistically insignificant. That's it.
Which honestly, I'd be kind of curious to even know what the numbers on that are anyway. Because, like, I've heard it, said as like conspiracies like, oh, the vaccines will kill you, but like, has it actually happened? Like, and if so, could it be just like an exceptional case where maybe someone didn't realize they were allergic to an ingredient and had a severe reaction or something? I mean, it's like, because like very exceptional cases can happen, but that doesn't mean it's the rule to the overall, like to the overall data and shit. Like, because of course, like any data and any like statistics or anything like that, there's always going to be outliers and exceptions to it.
That's it. Even from a dice roll type situation, the side effects are marginal at most. The fact that you might legitimately be harmed by the vaccine is marginal. So if you want to talk about it from a science perspective, you want to look at the actual statistics, then yeah, those odds are ridiculous. The same goes for all medication, and you would never make that argument for other medication. It's so...
I mean, depending on how far they are on the rabbit hole with, like, the conspiracies about this shit, they probably would be. Because I know there are definitely some people that will even look at like also even like prescription type of medications as like like having some sort of a deeper like a spiritual agenda behind it and shit like that, even though there isn't. I mean, outside of maybe like just the fact of the for-profit narrative behind all of it, but that's just kind of like par for the course when it comes to America on like really fucking anything. Pharmaceutical industry and medical industry, unfortunately, no exception when it comes to these, for-profit companies.
The vaccine, probably a few,
but
I don't know what the number is, but I know it's not 7 million.
If we were more judicious about who needed it versus who it might hurt,
shoot shit.
Blanket policy.
It wouldn't like what? Yeah, it's like the like handful of people that this may or may not hurt. We have to think about those people because fuck everyone else.
Everybody, one size fits all.
Oh, if you have a pre-existing condition and you can't get vaccinated, the government has that accounted for. What are you talking about?
They're called medical exceptions.
It's not like you couldn't opt out of vaccinations. It's just that you couldn't opt out of vaccinations for ridiculous reasons, like religious reasons, or I don't want to do it because I am afraid.
Unless you're in someplace like Oregon, because like there are some states like Oregon that actually unironically have religious exemptions, and they need to be abolished. Like the idea of having religious exemptions is just fucking absurd. Like unless you have a genuine like reason, medically, where you can't get it. Like I mean, I'm pretty sure your little sky foo daddy's gonna be okay with it. When it comes to it. Like I mean, big whoop.
It's so stupid.
Then
that's easy. Who needs it? Everyone. Who's hurt? Nobody.
We could take down the damages from the vaccine that happened.
But then why vaccinate for anything?
And then take down the...
Why vaccinate for measles? Why not? Why vaccinate for mumps or rubella?
Yeah.
Pertussis? Why vaccinate for any of those things? Because somebody might get hurt by the vaccine. I mean, why do those vaccines? Because COVID is newer?
Well, COVID is newer.
And no rebuttal. It's like, well, it is newer, so yeah, good point. Like, I mean, it's like, really? I mean, that's, oh my god, dude, this fuck, bro, this dumb fuck. Holy shit. Well, it's newer, so we don't know much about it, so fuck it. Natural immunity. We had that for measles and all this other stuff, until the vaccines came around and were actually, like, effective, even though they already are nowadays.
I've asked time and time
god,
again.
the aneurysm about to happen to small fuck.
I guess, progressively stupider answers to, but he's right.
Yes, but is that the only reason?
It's the best I've seen in 7 years. I mean, it shows that, like, he's still got it. I mean, because he's actually, despite being kind of like, a little bit more of a lib, I mean, he's actually, I could tell that, he's actually pretty legit decent, especially when it comes to, like, this type of stuff. I still need to watch Orville. Yeah, I definitely really want to watch Orville, because from what I understand, like, he's actually pretty based on a lot of different issues. And he certainly, add a lot more respect points, when it comes to this.
I mean, this was, by the time you got the vaccine, I don't know if you had it, but by the time I got the vaccine, this was the most tested
channeling this inner Brian Griffin. Dude, he's channeling the Brian Griffin, dude.
In the history of vaccination.
Yes, I had it.
Because I had to so many people by that point had it. It's like by the time it got into my arm, it's like, all right, I think I'm going to be okay.
Okay, well, just so you know, I took one for the team. Okay, so...
I took one for the team. Fuck off.
I mean, he got slaughtered in the kindest way possible that Brian Griffin ever could. You know what I mean?
Fatality. Fucking love it. Oh, did I see you do? See you do, drinker? I saw that do. We're playing that back. I saw that do. I saw that. That was a do. You do, drinker. Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. He drinks to do, dude. Oh my god, dude. My dad would drink this all the fucking time, bro. Dude, I basically grew up knowing nothing but Dew. Or Dr. Pepper, because my mom loved that shit, because that's pretty much like the only thing Texans know when it comes to soda is Dr. Pepper. I ain't knocking on it, by the way. Dr. Pepper's actually okay. I kind of like it.
The only thing, this only works if there's mutual respect. Yeah, I mean,
The ban rent control statewide and ban new housing constructions in most areas. Oh, wait, did you hear Florida passed the most pro-landlord legislation in the country? Rent's gonna go way up there. Oh my god, ew. Florida, never cease to amaze me with your psychoticness.
I mean, Seth MacFarlane is like a bit of a petulant lib himself in many instances, so...
A petulant lib.
I mean, that's what it is. He's lucky Stewie wasn't there.
What the deuce?
Shilling for the vaccine in 2024 with all the data available isn't smart. The vaccine doesn't stop you from getting or transmitting COVID, so it's 100% a personal choice to get it or not. No, it doesn't.
Oh my god. Holy fuck. I hate that shit so much. It's like this, like the likelihood of you contracting it and spreading it and transmitting it and stuff like that goes significantly lower when you're vaccinated versus unvaxxed. Like, I mean, oh my god. It's like, yeah, no one ever said that is like a literal cure-all. Like, no one ever says that. Like, oh my god, I hate it when people try to make that point. It's like, yeah, just because you got it doesn't mean that, you know, you might get sick from it or you might transmit. Because, yeah, it is a possibility. Less likely, but it still could happen. It's like, fuck. It's like, holy shit. Oh, I hate when people, like, just assume this stupid shit where it's like, oh, well, you know, if you get it, you must think it's cure-all, because, look, see? It's not. It's like, no one said that. It's like, fuck.
Okay? A seatbelt doesn't stop you from still getting in a car accident. Okay? What are you talking about? Or even being significantly harmed in a car accident. But the government should absolutely still regulate it and ensure you have to put a seatbelt on while you're driving. That's it. The vaccine...
But I tell you what, Hassan, that is just, you know, what happens when you get communism in this country. I tell you what, brother. I mean, you know, it's like, this is what happens when government gets into life, you know. It's like, they want us to have seatbelts. I never ever had a problem, you know, and I've always, you know, never had these stupid things. And now they just want to fucking, you know, like, you know, have us wear seatbelts. What is this, you know, country coming to? Goddamn communism. I'm not even kidding, by the way. Hold up. Oh my god, this is the video. Oh wait, that's the DUI law one. Where's the one with the seatbelts? Oh, well, damn, even Sam Cedar reacted to it back in the day. I just want to see the original clip. I'm assuming it would be this one there.
Florida Highway Patrol Lieutenant Chris Miller hears it
Florida. Hey, speaking of Florida.
all when it comes to seatbelts.
I hear it's uncomfortable. It wrinkles my clothes. It's not cool. There's no freedom no more. You don't want to wear it? That's your choice.
It is a new seatbelt ordinance. If the town council gets its way, seatbelts will be mandatory for everybody riding in the front seat of a car through Richland.
I'll have to detour the town to get to Kalamazoo. If they pass a seatbelt ordinance, I don't use a seatbelt. I wouldn't wear my seatbelt. I get caught, I guess. I oppose
I get caught, I guess, because that's what the communists want to try to do, is limit my freedom. See how, like, it just does not sound that much different from today when it comes to that vax bullshit.
The basis that it replaces the free will of the individual with the desires of the state.
The question here is whether we have...
I don't even know exactly. It was back in the 80s at least, but yeah, like, you know, pretty much same shit, different day, essentially, right? It's just instead of, you know, seatbelts now, because they eventually just sucked it up and gotten over it now. Now it's just like, oh, well, vaccine. They have to find something else to bitch about. And also, there's the drinking and driving one, too. You know, that one's just even more exceptionally hilarious.
That's it. The vaccine is a seatbelt. It is not for me. I will take the vaccine, okay? And I did. And even got a booster on top of that. I don't anymore. But regardless, if there was like a massive, if there was a massive pandemic again, like it was, or if it was a variant was like genuinely ripping through, I would absolutely take the vaccine again, okay?
Yeah, that was actually one of the first things that we were looking at before my stream kind of took a fart from earlier.
the idea that like the vaccine doesn't stop you from getting.
We actually were talking like for an hour about like music and how it kind of gets involved into politics, stuff like that. I think you kind of popped in like just before I we're talking about it.
This was 100% a personal choice. Is stupid. Okay. Also, your name is Hutch Poker. This is a great take. Dude's got poker in his name, arguing against the odds. How are you going to have poker in your name and look at the actual odds? You have to be the worst gambler of all time, I suspect. Vaccinated with an mRNA vaccine reduced the odds of onwards transmission by 4/5 compared to unvaccinated index cases. Yeah, that's partially because it would reduce the symptoms dramatically, too. That's it, including the most important symptom, which is going to the hospital and dying. Okay? That's it. That's it.
The same argument could be used for seatbelts back in the day.
Really it.
Oh, but, hey, if you don't, if you want to, that's your choice, there ain't no freedom no more.
It's like, I wanted everything that
Where's my freedom to die? In a car wreck.
I wanted it more than I want every single person to not see the top of the hour ad break. So when the vaccines came out, I was joyous. I was excited. And I thought others would also be just as excited at the prospect of no longer having to be stuck indoors. So I was shocked when I saw...
Are you surprised, Hassan? I mean, considering that even when they weren't released yet, when it came to vaccine stuff, even before that happened, like when it came to just masks shit, there was the whole anti-maskers. Before they came anti-vaxxers, they were the anti-maskers. Some of these motherfuckers are overtly, try to cough on people, do biological warfare and shit. It was a wild time, man. Did he it's like, I know there was a lot of crazy shit, but did he forget about that?
All the very same people who were like, open it up, turning around and being like, I'm also anti-vaccine, brother.
Which will cause things to say close down, but fuck it. Freedom.
Weird. Mr. Bowie, thank you for the 5 tier 1 gift of subs.
Boo. I just want the freedom, not give a fuck. Why does the state have to get in the way of that? Anti-vaxxers were a thing, but way before COVID. That is true. But, not really to, the same degree as they were now. It just really amplified, way more, prior to that. Because I'd bitch about anti-vaxxers even pre-COVID, too. There's times where I've talked about it before. So it's especially when it came to things like a measles outbreak. Because, there are unironically higher cases of, some diseases like measles and shit in places like the Pacific Northwest because of things like medical exemptions for vaccines and shit. So, that's why, I've always been fervently against it, and especially now more than ever when it comes to things like religious exemptions. And it's one of the weird back-ass fucking things about Oregon, honestly, that I really don't like. It's just I can understand medical exemptions because those are certainly understandable, but my sky daddy and my beliefs if that say so otherwise. It's I'm not having that. The new polio cases. I think that's another one that's also had higher cases around here too, if I remember correctly. Yeah, measles ain't the only one.
Count as lockdown reminiscence or whatever word you use in your New Year's resolution? Oh, no. Anyway, here's the Thurman outbreak now. Wax because I would definitely...
Let's see if he plays more of this. Or at least if there's any more to it. I guess there isn't. I guess we got to the juice of all that. Streamlabs, don't fuck up on me. Okay, good, it didn't. Yay. But Diaz, man, fucking Bill Maher and these motherfuckers, man. We're just, never gonna hear the end of these pieces of shit about this, too, are we? I feel like there's gonna be, some, variation that's gonna not really cause, another, pandemic scenario, but probably, a little bit of a bigger spike than just, the usual epidemic type of stuff, that we would have to deal with that type of shit. So, at this point, it's whenever those tiny little spikes happen, they're just not going to shut the fuck up. It's just always going to, It's going to be a while before, they move on to something else. Ugh. Oof. Here. Found something else I kind of want to look at. But before we do, I'll go to the bathroom real quick. Be right back. Ooh. Doggo! Hey, stretchy thing. Oh, hello, hello. Little bulldozer, little goof. Why do you always stop right there? You goofy thing. You stretchy thing. Oh, you stretchy little thing. Oh my goodness. You're just so goofy. Look at you. Boop. He's such a goof. He's just such a goof. Yeah, I'm picking you up. Come here. Ugh. Big old chunk. You big old chungabunga. Ooh, did I just pop something in your leg? Oh my goodness. Ugh. Oh, you big ball. Alright. Oh, you big old ball. My goodness. Oh, who's a chunk? Who's a little chunk? At this point in a cider, you're expecting better from a cherry vanilla. That sounds like it's good, but since you're saying you're disappointed, I'm actually kind of sad that it is disappointing. Because that sounds like it'd be pretty good. You're thinking of measles, or U.S. hasn't had polio in a long time. Oh, okay. Well, I know definitely measles definitely have had some outbreaks in the U.S. for sure. You big chunker. You big chunker. Oh. Oh. You big goof. You lazy ball. You lazy bean. He's a lazy bean. Ugh. My goodness. You big goof. Here. There we go. There we go. I can show you. Look at this little lazy bean. Just a lazy little thing. Yeah, you just lazy. You big goof. My goodness. My goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, you. Oh. Wolf. Got me some zucchini spaghetti. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. Ah, watch your tail, bro. Getting into my weed. Damn it. Love that Salvador's pride when he shits on TJ's rug. Yeah, Zukov's done that a couple times before. Luckily, not anymore. He's learned his lesson. Mike made a fun video. I'm pretty sure I was looking at it earlier. It's about Bobbit, isn't it? Because if it is, I've seen it. React to that earlier before the first stream took a dump. But speaking of TJ, though, I do have a TJ video. TJ Cook.
You guys remember Josh Moronstein from back in the day?
Remember this guy?
My old nemesis from the past. Well, these days, he's running for office, baby. Isn't that cool?
This guy's like running for fucking office. Oh my god. I saw these signs when I was in Texas, dude. Like when driving, when I was being driven around to different places, for like, going to, a restaurant or going to see the movies, there's like a few places, like that, some houses, they were driving by. Not all of them, but there was like, I seen that at least once or twice, when I was driving around.
Isn't that cool that Josh Fierstein might actually have power one day?
Oh, God.
The guy that I literally used to make fun of on a regular basis for being...
What is with these weirdos and having these, like, polos and sweater combos, dude? Like, what the fuck?
The biggest idiot on the face of the fucking earth might actually now gain some real power.
Maybe just sit, but you don't see it on his channel. Mike's Games of 2023. Oh, it's probably because it's on his other channel. Maybe. I'm assuming so. We'll just take a look real quick.
Oh, it's...
Yeah, this is... Oh, yeah, it's because it's on a different channel. Oh, I'll take a look at it. But first this.
Actually now gain some real power in life. It's about fucking time, man. I think that's cool. Proudly endorsed by Ken Paxton, the Texas Attorney General. And there, look at him. I love this picture of him because he looks like a meme to me. Like, I don't...
It really does look like a meme template a little bit. You know what? It almost weirdly feels AI generated too. Like, there's something about how the photo, like, after it was taken, when it got edited... There's something about its edit that just kind of feels that way.
See pictures and think like, I want to make a meme of that. I'm not of the generation that just terminally thinks in memes. Like younger millennials do that, and Gen Z does that. I don't know if Gen Alpha does that.
Oh yeah, they do.
person that's constantly seeing memes everywhere. Oh, it's got to be a meme. It's got to be a meme. But I did take an old meme and combine it with this image to create this masterpiece.
I farted in my diaper and some poop came out. Oh my god, yes. I love it. This is great.
For this this picture.
It's fucking amazing.
It's it says, and it took a long time for me to think of this. This is my own thoughts, never even heard
it's fucking
this before.
beautiful, dude.
It says I farted in my diaper and some poop came out. And
Poetic.
As you can see, he's quite serious about it, right? So
fucking beautiful. This is art. That's how art should be made, right?
But I want to take a look at his website here. Let's take a look. A lot of people have asked me.
I get it. I already know.
The legislative priorities. Number one legislative priority is pro-life. He says, I will always fight for the lives of innocent preborn children. It's our moral duty to stand up for those who can't defend themselves.
Until they're born, then fuck them. Once they're born, then who gives a shit? Fuck them.
Too bad he's not pro his own life, you know, because he's certainly not doing himself any favors by eating, 20 cheeseburgers a day. But hey, I guess that's his own decision, right? Number two, gun rights, because that's really compatible with the whole pro-life thing.
Yeah, as soon as you shit them out, give them a gun. As soon as they're born and out of the womb, fuck them. As long as they got a gun, then you gotta make sure you prioritize that. It's like, then you don't fuck them. Then give them guns. You gotta give them a right. After being shot on this earth. Beyond that, fuck them.
I'm strongly pro-life, and I'm also strongly the thing that takes life away. While my opponent prohibits the open carry of firearms on his property, I believe every Texan should exercise their right to bear arms. In fact, I propose a substantial monetary reward be given to any Texan who, while in the act of carrying a firearm in public, stops a mass shooting.
You know what's funny? I know TJ is actually about to bring this up, but this is unironically happened before. There was like a bank robbery that happened on Christmas. It was like for one of their it was their true crime episode they did for patrons. But the story was that these dudes robbed a bank, and in the city it was like a $5,000 reward for anyone who could, or at least in the bank. The bank had a $5,000 reward for anyone who could stop a bank robber. So the entire fucking town showed up as like a militia vigilante group to try to stop a fucking bank robbery. And you can imagine how well that went. Like, I mean, it's just, it's an absurd story, dude. The story is just ridiculous.
I mean, this is insanity, by the way. We just did a story. If you guys, I don't know how many of you guys watched the DFF Christmas true crime special we put out, but one of the stories we cover on that was how for a long time the Texas Bankers Association offered a $5,000 reward for any citizen who shot a bank robber. And of course, the result of that was that a bunch of vigilante citizens started, just wantonly firing into, situations where bank robberies were going on, and more often than not, they murdered a bunch of innocent civilians and got a bunch of hostages killed because,
including some of the people in the group itself. Like, there's a few people that try to kind of, like, get up ahead, and even they got shot and hurt. So it's like, I mean, it was just like a literal chaotic nightmare of a scenario.
Bunch of gun nuts who have been promised $5,000 are not too smart about, being judicious with their targets. So I feel like if you give a cash reward for anyone who stops a mass shooting, you're basically going to end up with a lot of people who are killed in mass shootings, not by the shooter, but by would-be defenders, right? So election reform. While Texas legislators voted to reduce voter fraud penalties from a felony to a misdemeanor, I will propose to increase those penalties. We cannot afford any more stolen elections. Well, we've never...
That's just so weird. I mean, it's like... Voter fraud penalties. I mean, I don't really think they should be reduced, but I don't really see much of a reason to expand on them either. So this just really seems like a silly non-issue, just to kind of rile up the Trumpies, being like, "Oh yes, reform it."
At least we didn't in 2020. So kind of weird that you're continuing down that path. It's kind of weird that that's even able to be a mainstream position in America, but whatever. School choice. Every parent deserves a right to choose what type of school their child will be best educated in. No, the best education is not based on choice. It's not like I will choose what is the best education for my child. The best education for your child is not a matter of opinion. It's a matter of like empirical, it can be empirically demonstrated. This education is superior to that one.
No shit. I mean, at least when it comes to like homeschooling, considering a lot of it's just, a bunch of religious foo-foos, just trying to like instill indoctrination. And honestly, I'm just like really, for the most part, against homeschooling, considering like a lot of the insane, crazy, psychotic horror stories that I've heard, from, different, cases, of, when parents do shit like this, because it's basically, honestly, when it comes down to it, more of a way to like, isolate, their own kids, to like, some sort of like, family like cult, essentially.
Children should be educated in,
like Ron said, either the oven's heated or it's not. There's no preheated. You're either born or you're not. There's no gray area.
In an empirically effective manner. Like, hey, this child knows more, grasps the issues better, and is able to...
I'm loving some of these other ones. Medical freedom, secure the border. Like, oh boy.
Think better than this child. And what school choice really means is that they want tax dollars to go to fund religious schools. They want a bunch of kids to learn the earth is flat and, the earth, and it's 6,000 years old, and they want to hear about a talking snake, and that's not a quality education.
And basically not really understand a lot of English, too. A little side stories, though, when I was, like, out in Texas, it wasn't like Scrabble, but there was like this like kind of Scrabble-like kind of game that I was playing with some of the folks there, and one of the words I was like putting out was I put out zeitgeist, and a lot of them's like, is that even a word? And I looked down like, zeitgeist, yeah, and they're like, what does that even mean? I didn't know that's a word. I was just like, and I just kind of thought in my head, I went, oh my god, I just like went, what? I mean, you would figure they would, out of anything, that should be a word, and these were adults, by the way, and I was like, you would think that would be something they would already know, and I'm just like, oh god, adults just ask me, what does that mean? I'm just like, oh my god. And, I mean, just to prove that, at least I know it, it's like, it basically is just like the general, aura or vibe, from a past tense. Like, I mean, just on the general rundown, that's basically what it means. Like, what the social vibe was, in, like, times past. Like, for example, like, if you're talking about the zeitgeist of, like, the civil rights movement, for example, just to kind of put it, in definition. The definition to use. But, because I, had to, like, explain that to them, and they're like, oh, never knew that. I'm just like, well, wow, what else do you not know? Oh God. So I was just like, oh no.
Matter of opinion that's a shitty education. That just is a shitty education. Because that doesn't reflect reality, it doesn't reflect modern science, that doesn't reflect any sort of intelligent or enlightened worldview whatsoever. And so, no, you shouldn't have school choice, you fucking dimwit. Secure the border. I mean, this is just boilerplate Republican bullshit, right? Not only should the border not be secured, it shouldn't even fucking exist. There should be no borders. Borders are just, so many people...
What is this communism, sir? I mean, it's like, it really is just kind of rote Republican shit. It's like, oh, scared border, even though like a fat chunk of it's a fucking river. I mean, and also when they mean that, they basically are like, it's like those buoys with barbed wire across it and shit. Like, I mean, that's like what they mean by secure the borders. Like, here, let's put up like some barbed wire buoys across the fucking river and shit like that, and, see how that affects the kids. It's like, I mean, that's pretty much like, what they want when it comes to securing the border. I'm surprised they don't want like, fucking like military operated like guard towers, and shit, like willing to snipe you and trying to cross a fucking river or something.
If I was to tell them, why do we have all this division in the country? Why do we have all these divisions, one person from another? And you know they would agree. Oh yeah, you're right. There is too much division. It's like, well, what's the biggest division of all? These fucking borders, right? A border that says everyone born on this side is this thing, and everyone born on this side is that thing. It's basically just like geographically enforced tyranny. So fuck that. I want to take a giant eraser and erase every border on Earth and do like a one world government or a one world no government even. You know, depending on if we can figure.
Damn. Just throwing out the deep philosophical hot takes out here.
Yeah. But
I don't necessarily disagree, but I mean, I'd probably put a pin on that, at least, you know, for a different, you know, topic, you know, just to, you know, but that's just me. Because, yeah, deep down, you know, like, you know, and, you know, like, in the long run, yeah, that's what I would advocate for, too. I mean, probably more of a one world government, like, I mean, a no government one, I don't know how that would work, but, you know, hey. Yeah, fuck it.
Nations or nation states or any of that nonsense. I think that's useless to modern day human beings and should be destroyed as soon as possible. End property taxes. Maybe. I don't know. If you could come up with an alternate means of funding the things that property taxes go into, I'm okay with it.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of why I overlooked that earlier, too. Because, I mean, I'm not really, like, I'm impartial to it, but it just depends on, like, you know, I guess the way we're going about it, I guess. Like, I mean, if there's, like, at least other elements of, like, taxes, like, you know, like an income tax or some shit like that, or whatever the fuck, then, I mean, if there's other means, you know, of income sustainability, or, like, when it comes to replacing that or whatever, I mean, whatever. I'm just kind of neutral to that, I suppose.
Freedom, what does that mean?
It means fuck back chains. That's what it means, CJ. It means, like, you know, fuck me out the pharmaceutical industry. You gotta just have faith shielding, brother. Because, I mean, Josh Moronstein has, well, maintained the fact that he's a fucking moron.
Well, my opponent was busy setting up vaccination stations. I'm sold on your opponent.
Yeah, I don't know who his opponent is, but they sound based.
Fighting to help protect the rights of those who are being forced out of their jobs. No one's being forced out of anything. No one's being forced out of their jobs, or their churches, their hospitals, or any of that shit. People made bad decisions. You know, if you choose to not respect medical science, and you choose...
Oh, wait, what's this say? Also, I thought Josh cared about the free market. By that logic, shouldn't employers have the right to kick out people out of their jobs for whatever reason they want, including not getting vaccinated? True. Because that would what the free market dictates when it comes to the business owner, right? Most of the right wingers who oppose property taxes either want to replace with nothing because fuck cities, or replace them with sales taxes, which is even worse. Yeah, and sales taxes are just fucking ridiculous. I'm glad Oregon's at least one of the few states that don't got them.
Not to respect basic human decency and be an asshole and go like cough on people intentionally and try to spread disease during a pandemic, then you get no sympathy from me. You can go fuck yourself. I thought it might also be fun to take a look at good old, yeah, here we go, Josh Fierstein's Instagram page here. He calls himself a voice for the voiceless. So let's take a look at some of his posts.
Oh my fucking god, what is that? What is he? Is that a fucking 50 caliber bolt action rifle, dude? I can see the bolt action right there. Oh, dude, this is a fucking bolt action 50 cal, bro. What the fuck? Are you compensating something, buddy? Are you compensating for something, brother? Like, oh my good fucking lord, dude. You know what? This might even be bigger than a 50. This might be like a 20 millimeter or something, dude. Like, this thing is fucking ridiculously huge. It's like fucking retardedly big, dude. What the fuck? Dude, it like stands taller than him if he set it down on the ground.
He is holding a comically large gun that I guess is supposed to be a substitute for his comically small penis.
Yes.
Look, as a small penis guy, I get it. You know, there's a lot of stigma attached to having a small dick in America, and you know, it seems a lot of times like even people who are otherwise enlightened will still body shame over having a small dick, and that sucks. But guess what? You're not gonna fix that by getting yourself a giant gun or a giant truck. That's not gonna solve the problem, okay? You gotta actually confront the problem head on. this, I'm going to get a big black substitute dick. It's not working. No one believes it. Like, in this image, you don't look virile. That gun is holding you at this point. Here he is.
No shit.
Celebrating Christmas by having his son burn a book.
Yeah, because doing Nazi-like shit is totally, a very Christmas-like, fucking vibe. I'm trying to see what book it is, so I can't even tell. But, I mean, just wow. I mean, the kid doesn't even look like he's really interested. He's like, whatever, I guess he wants me to burn this, and I guess I have to look at it or something.
Now, this is, we got politicians now running for office who are proudly displaying themselves burning books like...
And indoctrinating the kids at the same time because, that's very healthy behavior.
This is going to turn out well. We have learned from history. We truly have. And the way he justifies this is what happens when you order Christmas books only to find the main character is a good witch. Could we have returned it for a refund? Yes, but why? So some other kid can be indoctrinated? No. I mean, I love that he's doing all this while celebrating.
Yeah, and guess what? The person that, or the store that you bought the book from got your money now. I mean, instead of getting your money back, and then maybe, like, be like, all right, well, too bad, give me that book back and just run off of it, so you can burn it, and then it's like, you didn't really do anything. You're just looking like a dipshit, just like all these other conservatives that will, like, burn their fucking Nikes or smash their Keurigs or fucking, like, shoot up a bunch of Bud Light cans.
Today, too. You gotta love it.
It's like, give me a break, dude.
Here's an article from Newsweek about him. He's proud of this article. Pastor who said Christians don't need COVID vaccine challenges Republicans. Good for him. I love that he's proud of this framing. Like, yeah, you damn right.
Yeah. Fuck, actually, trying to keep people safe by, not spreading a disease is my fucking God-given right and my, Jesus-based obligation to do it. Fuck you.
Here he is with his dumb family. I don't care. Whatever. We all have families. Most of us don't use them as political props. What's this? He's
that really rocked your world, that just seemed like it had you hanging on for dear life. Well, it's interesting because oftentimes we get upset at these seasons. Like, why does God have to let me go through this? But what if I told you that out in Arizona, they created something called the Biodome, which was like the perfect atmosphere. And
it starred Pauly Shore.
They're growing these trees and plants. And
the Biodome does sound like a weird early 2000s movie.
And yet it was that the trees kept falling over, and they could not figure out why. Until they discovered that, yes, in the Biodome, while it may be seemingly the perfect environment, and where there are no storms, there's also no wind. And do you know that a tree needs wind in order to grow roots? Yeah, the more wind that it faces, the more opposite.
Okay. So? Is he trying to say, because, like, trees struggle with wind, I guess? Like, thus, it's like your God-given right to struggle or something? Dude, it's like some Mother Teresa shit, dude. And also, like, not every tree is the same when it comes to, like, how they grow. Like, there are plenty of trees that, aren't because of winds, that, they have strong roots. Like, there are, trees like maple trees that actually have the root systems, deep, in the ground that go like 10 fucking feet deep before they really start sprouting, as a tree. So it's like, so not every tree is the same on this front. So this doesn't even make fucking sense. It's like, and when it comes to, like, a tree, yeah, sure, it's gonna have stronger roots, when it comes to, not roots, yeah, I noticed that too, I was about to get to that. It's like, when it comes to having stronger roots, it's like, wind sure helps, I guess, but, that's not the only thing, but whatever, I don't expect Josh Morenstein to really understand that.
That will come its way, the deeper that its roots grow.
Roots. Oh my God, roots. Roots. What the fuck? Oh my God. What the fuck, dude? Not roots, roots. Roots.
Healthier the tree becomes. You see, oftentimes we're the same way. We want to grow tall and strong, but we don't want to ever go through anything. Yes, my friend.
Yeah, because you definitely don't go through any struggles there, big boy.
There's going to be times in your life that you're going to go through storms.
There's about a coin flip chance that if I looked into what he's saying about these trees needing wind in order to like grow deep root systems, there's about a coin flip chance that's like flatly not true. But like at the end of the day, even if that were the case, couldn't God have just created trees that grew roots deep and strong, whether there was wind or not?
And there are trees that do that. And also, like, there's a thing called, like, adaptation, too. Like, are trees incapable of doing that?
So this is still kind of just dumb, right? Like, why does God do this? Well, it turns out you need the wind to create the deep roots. Well, couldn't God have just programmed the tree to grow deep roots regardless? Couldn't he have just done that? Sure, he could have.
And if he couldn't, then does that make him flawed in some way? Because I thought he was flawless.
Like, God could have just built us all with this great reserve of internal strength. And by the way, there's plenty of human beings. I mean, I'm sorry to fucking contradict not only Nietzsche, but Josh Fierstein here. There's plenty of human beings who are not made stronger by adversity. Plenty of human beings that go through a bunch of adversity and it just fucks them up and makes them weak. It does not make them strong.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of people that, certainly, can't handle, shit sometimes. Not everyone's built the same way in that way.
We've seen this. We know this.
So let me go ahead and tell you another scam that the elites, the puppet masters that are trying to stay in power, run on the American people. This whole idea that kids are supposed to leave the house at 18. Oh yeah, kids, go find your independence. That's what they like to tell them on MTV and other social channels. But
what? I was honestly about to be like, wait, am I about to agree with him? But then he's like, on MTV, on these social media channels. Like, what? No, that's like what our parents told us growing up because it was beaten down into them, even though they were able to at least kind of do it because of various different reasons, and shit. This is when it comes to their social mobility. And then they, taught us to that, but that wasn't there for us, so we got fucked. So it's like, I mean, what? It wasn't MTV. What, huh? What? That was the weirdest curveball I had just ever gotten. What? Okay. I don't even understand that. I really don't. Okay.
What?
that's what I want. What?
I feel like this was never like an MTV thing for me. For me, this was my parents like just looking forward to the day that I was gone. Just being like, man, one of these days you're going to be 18. And then it's like...
So it's not feasible to expect that now. It just isn't, yeah.
It's out the door. Now, granted, for me, I didn't leave at 18. It was like, I think I left, once. Like, there was a couple of failures to launch and stuff. But, I think the time I left home once and for all, I was like 22, 23, something like that. So, yeah, I mean, like, this has been a long-standing sort of thing. This has not been some recent development.
The reality is, all they're wanting to do is create more renters. Yeah, so that they could rent them more property and make more money from it. But it's all a scam.
I mean, outside of the weird MTV, thing that he mentioned, I honestly don't even really disagree with him. Like, yeah, like the whole real estate, renting property shit, can't own and stuff. Like, yeah, it is all scams. So, I mean, broken clock right twice a day, I guess. Kind of ish.
Renting houses is a scam. All right, whatever. I mean, that was almost based.
Almost, yeah. I'm not gonna go that far, but
I wasn't 100% wrong.
So the next time you climb into your car, I want you to see the two things that are in front of you. One is a rear view mirror. The other is a windshield. You see, one is for looking ahead and one is for looking behind you. But notice that the windshield is a lot bigger.
If I'm going to listen to this kind of motivational pap from somebody, I want it to be from someone who has actually achieved some measure of fucking success in life, okay? Like, I've been listening to an Arnold Schwarzenegger book recently. It's like a motivational book from Arnold Schwarzenegger called Be Useful. I've been listening to that, and the reason why I can listen to it, and some of it does kind of ring like typical motivational pap to me, but the fact is, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger saying it. So it's like this guy was Mr. Universe, Mr. Olympia, and then he was an A-list Hollywood actor, highest paid Hollywood actor, and then he was governor of California, and so like I can be like, wow, this guy really has achieved some great successes in life, so I am going to take it seriously from him. So like if
it's like a thing a kid's gonna do something cute in front of your friends today, just shit yourself super hard. He's right about dude, imagine if Josh fixed the castle. Dude, honestly, you know, maybe the property tax thing, you know, maybe it has something to do with that or something. I don't know. Maybe that's like his rare good thing about him. I mean, that would be honestly kind of interesting, to be frank. Like, if, you know, out of all the horrible things about him, he's actually, like, pretty based on, like, you know, housing and shit. Because if so, then, hey, you know, broken clock right twice a day, I'll give him it, I guess. I mean, there's not really enough for me to really, truly say that, like, completely, you know, yet. But I'm willing to at least kind of throw the bone out there. I mean, at least with that one video. I mean, he's still pretty on point outside of just some of his, I guess, like, target of what caused it, like MTV. I still can't wrap my brain around that.
Schwarzenegger was making this exact same analogy, like, you notice the windshield is much bigger than any rearview mirror, and this is because we are not to look back so much, we have to look forward. You know, I would be like, okay, yeah, sure. That's true, because it's Arnold, who has succeeded in life. But this is fucking Josh Fierstein. This is the guy who, like, the biggest claim to fame he's got is he complained about a Starbucks cup, right? So, you know, it doesn't... I don't really feel like I need this motivational speech from him, all right? Kind of useless coming from his ass.
What if I told you that there's a reason that Jesus is buried in a borrowed tomb, unlike Muhammad and all these others that are buried in mosques and mausoleums?
I would say I don't give a shit.
Yeah, why does it matter?
And silver. You want to know why? Because Jesus, much like myself, had Jewish ethnicity, which meant that he was anointed to be good with money. So why in the world is he going...
What? What? Dude, TJ's fucking face, dude. Oh my god. It's just like, I mean, what the fuck? Like, he just fucking so casually just fucking dropped that. What the... Oh my god. Just this fucking frame of TJ, dude. Holy shit. Oh my god. I don't even know what to even say. Oh my god. He's so he's Jewish. So he's a Jew against Jews. I guess so. Yeah.
What?
Oh my god.
What? What?
What? Oh my god. Holy shit, man. I don't even know, dude. I don't even know, bro.
What? Oh no. No. Don't say that.
Heavenly Father, I pray right now for somebody that's struggling with depression. I pray that you would take the black cloud of hopelessness that's hanging over their life, the storm that they seem to be stuck in endlessly. I pray that right now that the Holy Spirit, that the wind...
Man, I can't wait for this. Do you think this, I mean, like, what, do you think this dude will actually get power?
I hope not. There's a man who knows nothing about his religion.
Josh Fierstein will actually find...
This dude, I mean, like, it's just, God, the grift is so strong. I mean, I just kind of feel like this is just his attempt to, like, you know, like get himself back on, you know, to some sort of relevance, you know, and I don't know, man. I mean, it's kind of weird because I feel like it might work. It is Texas after all, and I guess he is endorsed by Ken Paxton, so there is honestly a legit possibility.
You think anyone's gonna vote for him? You think he's gonna win an election? You think he's gonna become a state senator or whatever the hell he's running for, and like become something? Because I don't know if I hope that doesn't. I know. I should hope that doesn't happen. But truth be told, I kind of hope it does. Because I kind of love the idea of that being the arc here. That someone who I have made fun of for literally probably the better part of a decade. I mean, it's got to be a decade right now. Like, how early is my first Josh Moronstein video? That has to be like 10 years old by now or more.
It's about 9 years. 9 years old.
So someone I've been making fun of for a decade for being like literally the biggest dunce on the internet might actually very soon have real political power. Like
in Texas.
It just sort of perfectly encapsulates the American experience at that point, don't you think? We've seen dumber be elected. I don't know. I think Josh Fierstein might be the dumbest of the dumbs. Like I mean,
there was that like Louis Gohmert fuck, or what was his name again? Like that, I don't even, he was like a senator or some shit. Is he even still a thing? Like, I forgot what his like full name was, but I mean, God, that guy, oh my God, he's such a fucking moron. I mean, there's also, you know, Rudy, good old Giuliani. I mean, MTG, fucking Bobbitt, Sarah Palin, Bush. I don't know, man. There are some fucking dumbasses, dude. I mean, I don't know, bro.
If our trajectory, especially in the Republican Party, of just dumber and dumber politicians, because like when I was a teenager and Bush was the president, he seemed to me like, man, this is the dumbest fucking guy that has ever been president. We've never had a president this dumb. There's no fucking way we've ever had a president this stupid before. And then a scant few years later, we started seeing Sarah Palin get popular, and she was running for VP, but still, like, Sarah Palin was a freaking idiot, and it was like,
and she was
wow,
kind of trailblazer even for that situation.
Dumber than Bush. That's crazy.
I mean, she was kind of the head of the Tea Party movement to a certain extent. She kind of became like, you know, a figurehead almost.
And she was super popular. She was more popular than McCain was. And it's like, wow. She's a complete freaking moron. She's a complete Nimrod. She has no brain in her head whatsoever. She can't...
Man, I need to get, like, some chapstick eventually at some point. My lips have been kind of dry the last, like, while. I mean, no sense. It's like, God damn it, I just need to get some chapstick already.
Fake her way through an easy answer in a softball interview. She can't even answer, like... They just ask her, like, what publications do you read? And she's like, all of them? She can't even just, like, say, like...
So I kind of remember that. That was like a recent one, wasn't it? Like, I'm pretty sure that it was like more of a recent clip when she did that one.
Times, The Economist, Vanity Fair. She can't even just rattle off the names of a few publications, right? So, she's that dumb. She can't even lie her way through a very simple, like, what newspapers, what publications, what magazines.
Oh, there's also, like, the Eric Abs thing where it's, like, a very stupid fucking question that happened at near the end of the year last year. Where it's like, what's like the one where you describe this here? New York, because we're known for, like, you know, buildings crashing into planes and other shit. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, excuse me?
What stuff? What do you read? What are you reading on a regular basis? Because the fact is, she's not reading shit. She's parked in front of fucking Fox News.
Like, man, we definitely got some morons, man.
Oh, yeah, immigrants.
You know? And I thought, well, she's the dumbest. That's the dumbest as it can get. And then Trump comes along, and it's like monosyllabic caveman grunt. I'm the best.
I shit myself constantly. Gotta have someone give me some wet wipes to clean myself up.
I'm awesome. I'm like a really smart person. I can talk the best. I'm good. I'm smart.
I got the best brain.
I understand what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm like the smartest guy. My brain is so big. I'm the smartest in terms of brains.
In terms of brains.
It's like, oh my fucking god, it can't get any dumber than this. And at this rate, I'm kind of thinking Josh Fierstein might have presidential potential.
Oh god, don't say that.
Dumber than
Oh no.
Trump. So holy shit. I mean, we might be. What if the guy that I spent 10 years making fun of?
Oh my god.
One day.
TJ, don't. No. Oh no. God, dude, as Buddy Holly once said, that'd be the day when I die. Because, like, no, dude.
He's taking the oath of office, you know?
Oh, God. No. What's this?
Well, come on in.
Oh, you know, this is why... Brian, you remember the last couple of weeks I kept saying, can I have a couple of minutes of your time to talk to you about something? This is what it was about. This evening is ruined.
Look, wait, what?
This evening is ruined. The whole evening is ruined.
Why are you saying it like that?
Saying what? I'm just pointing out the party's ruined.
You know what? I'm not going to get sucked into this. Okay, just so I'm sure. Really? Are you just trying to piss me off, or is that really how you say it? What are you talking about? I'm talking about this ruined evening. That's not how you say ruined.
What? Ruined?
What do you call the remains of ancient Greek structures?
Ruins.
And how would you describe this evening?
Well, ruined, of course. This evening is ruined.
Say ruined.
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 Dumbass.
Oh, Brian, don't be cruel.
Cruel. Oh my god. Man, I love it.
Well, it's that time for the list that none of you asked for, but you are...
But now we're getting into that. The list. The ultimate list. After the debauchery. And sin.
This is
because I am kind of curious.
Top 10 games of 2023. I actually planned to post this video in December, but I just was lazy and didn't do it. But David Dole made a tweet about how he wanted to make a video about this, and that reminded me that I also wanted to make a video about this. So thank you to my big brother David Dole for the reminder. But let me just get to it, because this was such an amazing year for nerds like me who love playing video games nonstop.
Get to the ruts of it. Get to it. Get to the ruts. The ruts. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh well, those okay.
I didn't give it enough of a chance, so I will revisit that probably later on. But you know, in terms of like my phase for the year, it just didn't make it. So if you are offended by that, I'm really sorry. But you shouldn't be, because if I don't like it, that doesn't mean that you can't like it. But let me just shut the fuck up and get right to the top 10. So number 10. This is going to be
what we got?
An interesting one that a lot of people haven't really talked about, but it's actually the remake of Lords of the Fallen. This is by no means a perfect game, but I
don't think I've heard of this one.
Started playing it in December, and I'm still playing it, and I am enjoying it for what it's worth. You know, it's not perfect. It really struggled to run on PC at first when they released it, but they've been doing some updates.
I mean, it actually kind of reminds me I need to see if Crusader Kings 3 has an update to where like it doesn't run like shit. Because like unlike other Paradox games, like if for some reason it's like running like shit at the moment, it needs to be updated, and a lot of people have been having the same problem. So I'm just gonna have to sadly sit there and wait for it. But I need to download Bannerlord because I got that while I was in Texas.
Stable.
I got a few games updated and stuff like that, but I need to finish up, some downloads.
With my build, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. You know, they could have done more to balance some of the bosses and the areas. There should be more weapons variety. Like, it's not perfect, but I am addicted to these Souls-like games, and I'm still having a lot of fun with it. So I'm playing through that, and it just kind of snuck on to my top 10. Number 9 is Alan Wake 2. Gameplay-wise, it was pretty fun. The puzzles were okay, but really, I think this was a hit because of the story.
Honestly, I've heard a lot of good things about Alan Wake 1 and 2, so I definitely want to check these games out.
Incredible. The musical performance, something that I traditionally don't like, I loved it. Seeing Sam Lake at the Game Awards perform the song from the game, to me, was so cool. Usually, I would think that these things are terrible. I hate musicals in general, but for whatever reason, it stuck with me for this game. Both characters are really interesting. Alan
musicals can be kind of cool.
And I'm really excited to play the third one. Hopefully they release that because I want to know what happens. Okay, number 8, Octopath Traveler 2.
The hell?
This game is awesome. If you like JRPGs, then this is just a no-brainer.
I've never heard of this.
Battle system is really fun. The stories for each of the 8 individual characters is much better than the first game. The first game was incredible, but they really improved the story here. The soundtrack was incredible, as was the case with the first game. I will say that some of the stories in this one were just dog shit. If I'm remembering correctly, I played this in like March. The dancer story was completely idiotic. I hated that one, but all the other ones were incredible. The samurai, the apothecary. So I love this game. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just a great JRPG, and I feel like if you like JRPGs, then you're gonna love this thing. I also really like the graphical style as well. Huge bonus. Yeah, love it. Okay, number 7 is Final Fantasy 16. This is actually my very first Final Fantasy game, believe it or not. I know...
I remember, like, one time when I was a kid, like, I had a friend that I used to visit sometimes, and we played this. Not the 16th one. It was, like, Final Fantasy 7 or some shit. It was one of them. I don't even know which one.
People
I remember playing one of them on PC back in the day, though, from one of my buds.
I have not yet played that. I plan on doing it soon. But yeah, I liked it. There were some moments where it kind of dragged and it was a little bit boring. I think that the side missions were shitty. It just kind of felt like fetch quests and busy work. But for the most part, the battles were so much fun.
Yeah, it's kind of my one thing that I kind of have as a general broader gripe with, like, kind of bigger open world RPGs, is that a lot of side quests tend to kind of be like that sometimes. I mean, I just kind of feel like there can definitely easily be more of a variety in, like, side quests, even if, there are kind of, like, repeats of the same type of thing. Because there already is like that when it's like, hey, fetch this thing, or hey, save this person, or whatever, or deliver this, to that, or escort this. It's like, I mean, even if it is like the same ways, I feel like they're, or the same kind of, foundation, I feel like there could be at least, a different variety of how, to go about those type of things. It's kind of like, at least in like episodics, like, Star Trek, for example, like, it's kind of why you would have like the shuttle episodes, where it's like, it basically, it's pretty much the same template episode, because it's like a shuttle mission, on the away mission or something like that. My emulation of 7 got wiped so hard I replayed it 2 months later. Damn.
Combat was incredible, and some of these battle scenes, these boss battles, combined with the music, it just gets you pumped, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, number 6. I have a post-it note attached to my selfie stick, so that's what I'm looking at. Number 6 is the Dead Space remake, and I played this in...
Wait, there was a remake of this? Nice.
And it scared the shit out of me. Played it now. I guess I built up a tolerance. Wasn't really scared, but the gameplay is still fun. Like, they improved on all of the shittier elements, like the 0G moments. It was just a blast. I think they did a great job. They handled it nicely. Really great game. Yeah, I would like them to remake the second and third ones. I did not get to play those. In fact, what's really shitty is I bought Dead Space 2 on PC. But when I tried to play it on Steam after the second one, it wouldn't launch, and apparently it was just broken for a lot of people. So that's kind of shitty.
Gotta love it. Gotta love technicalities with, games on Steam sometimes. It's one of the little slight gripes about it. I don't really think it's like Steam's issue. I think it's just kind of how it is sometimes. Boo.
I paid like $10 for it or $5 for it. I can't remember. It's been a while. But yeah, I would like to replay the remade version. So I hope that there's more. Okay, number 5 is Spider-Man 2. It was just a banger. I mean, the first Spider-Man game was very good.
I mean, I definitely want to, at some point, like if I visit Venom when he gets settled in Mexico, play this a little bit.
Man, Miles Morales.
I don't know if I'll, get it myself, but I'll at least definitely want to check it out.
Very, very good. And unsurprisingly, this one was also very good. I think that the way that they handled Venom was really cool. The story, again, incredible as hell. The gameplay is fun. The traversals.
Well, random side note, you want to know something that I found out that the Portland airport has? They have, like, a little gaming center. Like, for, like, I think it was, like, $10 an hour or some shit like that. Like, they have, like, all these, like, little, like, spots where you can play games, like, and I'm sure they have like all the, you know, latest stuff like Spider-Man 2 shit, and I was just like, whoa, what the fuck? I was like, yo, this is cool. I didn't know this is like a thing.
It's just more Spider-Man. Like, it was kind of a safe sequel, and I wish that it was longer, but for the most part, it was incredible. And if you like,
actually, I remember also seeing one at the Dallas airport too. Funny enough, so it's like, I'm actually kind of like, you know, I think that's actually kind of cool if you have like a long ass layover and, you know, you got to wait like 4 hours. You know, just like, you know, set an alarm clock for like, you know, like for 3 hours in, just go to the game center, just play for 3 hours, just, you know, playing some Call of Duty or some shit or whatever the fuck. I mean, hey, I mean, it's like, why not? I mean, that sounds pretty dope actually.
first games. And if you like,
so when I was there on my way back, they were closed. I mean, so obviously they were kind of only open for a certain amount of time, which kind of sucks. I mean, because, you know, what about us night owls are there all night? It's like, what if we want to play a game and kill some time? I mean, I don't want to be playing like some like fucking Scrabble on my phone or some shit. Boo.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Okay, number 4 is a game that is just kind of a sleeper hit of the year, Lies of P. I rarely replay games, but I played this game.
You know, I feel like I might have heard this a little bit once or twice. I don't think I've really looked into it or anything, but I think I might have heard about this.
4 times. I beat it 4 times. I made it to New Game Plus 5 and then stopped. That's how much I love this game. Did not expect it. Like, it was interesting to me because aesthetically it really looked like Bloodborne. But, yeah.
Yo, I'll admit, the cover of this looks pretty badass.
I really
looks pretty dope.
This fucking game.
Dude got some drip, dude. My boy got
these
drip.
Souls games, I swear to God, like, I got into them a couple of years ago after playing Demon Souls. And I've just, every single one I'm addicted to. And Lies of P is perhaps the most polished Souls-like game that I've played, at least, that isn't from FromSoft. I know that a lot of people think that the Neo series is probably like the best Souls-like, not from FromSoft. I haven't played those, though, so I can't speak to that, although I want to. But this game is just so good. The bosses, the amount of weapons that you can have, the customization. I mean, you can change
anything that has a lot of customizations. Sounds pretty dope in my book. Ooh.
Handles to the weapon, so there's different move styles. You can change it so that way the weapon that you like will scale with your build. They did so much to just make this a blast to play through, and it was so fun. I played it 4 fucking times. Some of the bosses, you know, are a little bit shitty. Like, there's a Door Guardian one that's just like a tank when it comes to HP. But overall, incredible. The final boss just kicked my ass, but so...
I'm definitely gonna want to check this game out. I mean, I'm kind of getting hooked on this idea of this game a little bit. I'm definitely gonna watch some gameplay of it. I'm gonna check it out later.
What an incredible game. Now, this next one is crazy to me, because I would have never thought that this game would be on my top 10 list, let alone that I'd play it. But number 3 is Pikmin 4. I have played all three Pikmin games before this.
The fuck is this?
And I have not completed a single one. I like them all, but the concept, while good, there was always just so much tedious bullshit with these games that turned me off. So I'd start playing it and then stop. Like with Pikmin 1, I thought it was such a cool concept. But the problem is you have like 30 in-game days to find 30 parts. And so if you don't find a part in one of those days, then basically your whole save file is fucked. And as a kid, that was really frustrating to me. I didn't have the strategy book and I couldn't figure it out. So I just kind of gave up. And when I came to Pikmin 2, tried it, just kind of stopped playing. Some of it got a little bit frustrating. And Pikmin 3, I think they improved a lot, but it still just wasn't my vibe. With Pikmin 4, they took everything that was tedious and annoying and made the other games overly difficult and improved.
I mean, this probably ain't really up my alley. This game looks so weird looking.
Damn near perfect. Like, I don't want to say it was perfect, but it was like maybe 9.5, 10 out of 10. I think the inclusion of the dog, Ochi, really made it so much better because it makes attacking the enemies a lot easier. You can kind of just like rush them and all your Pikmin jumps on it. There's these cave levels that are very puzzle oriented that I loved. I know those are on the other games too, or some of the other games. So much fun. The one complaint that I have is that they have these Dandori battles, which is where you basically will battle against a computer. to do a certain number of collecting in a period of time. I think those were really fun, but for no reason they like made you do it in split screen when I'm not going to be paying attention to what like the other character is doing, so let me just have my full screen, you fucking bastards. But like aside from that, the game was so good, and this is the first Pikmin game that I actually played and completed. So such a good game, just surprising to me, because I was like, look, it looks good, but let's be honest, I'm gonna play it for like an hour or two and then stop. No, I played this one, I was hooked from the beginning, so I would highly recommend it. Okay, number 2 is the Resident Evil 4 remake. I did not get to play Resident Evil 4.
I remember my brother having this game, I think on GameCube, because I remember back when he lived in Eugene, he would like spend times visiting for like the weekend and shit like that, with us for a little bit. And one time he let me borrow his GameCube, and I think he forgot that he had Resident Evil in there, because he was like, I'm going to make sure, you have some of the cool, fun games, but not some of the more mature ones. But he forgot it once, and honestly, it was like pretty fun, but like it was pretty difficult, especially for a little kid me, trying to play it. But I mean, it was kind of my first exposure to like a really hardcore like horror game and stuff too. So I have some fond memories playing it. I had to kind of be sneaky about it because my parents were like, it's like, excuse me, why are you playing that? It's like, because it was in there and it's fun. And I had to like sneak it back from them because it's like, they were like, no, you can't play that. I'm just like, well, too bad, I am.
Came out on GameCube because that...
I pissed off the squad. Wait, what happened? The Nintendo World Report? Oh shit, dude. Oh yeah, dude, man, they're giving me the fucking eyes, bro. Fucking little nutters, dude, little psychos.
I was in my evangelical fundamental phase. I was also a kid, so my parents wouldn't let me play it. So it was not good. So as an adult, I picked that shit up and I played the fuck out of it, and I loved it. So damn good. The story, the gameplay, it's damn near perfect. Like, I think this game is 10 out of 10. I have not yet played the DLC, but I do plan on picking that up as well. I mean, anyone who's played this says it's amazing, so they're right. So the hype is real, buy into it. Okay, my number 1 game of the year. Top game of 2023, which is not going to be surprising to anyone who's heard me talk about video games, is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Hey, now this is a game I really want to play, dude. I really want to get into this.
I am a Breath of the Wild dick rider, and I'm riding Tears of the Kingdom's dick even harder. This might literally be my favorite game of all time. Like, if not my favorite, like top 3, maybe top 5. But it was so good. It is not a perfect game. And there's things that they could do to improve it, right? I think that using the abilities from the characters would have been better if they mapped it to the controller and not you having to like run up to the character to like ask them to activate the power you want to use. Like, you'll understand what I'm talking about if you play it. It's annoying. But
I guess that's something to look forward to when I eventually get a chance to pick this up.
Though the game is huge, and I put like 125 hours into the game before beating it, just like exploring it and doing random shit. And it is so much fun. It is what you want from a video game. Just exploration that, gets you...
And plus, Zelda's just fucking badass. I mean, I remember playing Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, fuck that Water Temple, and, what was... I forgot the one with the wolf, where you could become a wolf too. I forgot the name of that one, but I remember playing that one off and on a little bit too. I never got a chance to play Majora's Mask or anything. Oh, and there was also like an old Zelda that was on Game Boy Advance. And also you can be like different Links, or you can be like a, red, blue, and I think a yellow Link. There's like green, red, blue, and I think it was yellow, if I remember correctly. Is it just me, or Hardcore Fun is responsible for this? Because, people whose parents are really restrictive when they grow up and they do things like they're supposed to do when they're younger. I do think there's a variable of that, for sure. I don't think it's one of the main reasons, but I do think it's, a pretty big variable to it, for sure.
Austin.
Twilight Princess? Not that one. I haven't played a lot of the Zeldas, but the ones I have fond memories of. Oh, wait, it was Twilight Princess. Oh, is that the one where you get to be the wolf? Because, see, that might be the, like, because I haven't completed that one, and that was one of the ones that one of my buddies had, but, like, and I liked it a lot, and I was like, oh, I want to play it, so I only got a chance to whenever I went over there to hang out with him.
It's just, it's good. I mean, it's Tears of the Kingdom. Everybody loves it, and they're not wrong for it. Okay, so with that being said, 2023, probably one of the best years ever, if not the best year ever for gaming. Absolutely loved it. It seems like 2024 is going to slow down a little bit, although it depends on what Nintendo puts out, if the Switch 2 comes out. But here's what are the games that I'm most looking forward to. Now, none of the games coming out this year, at least that we know of, have me as hyped as the games that were coming out last year. That being said, I am looking forward to these. The most obvious one, I think, is the Final Fantasy VII Part 2 remake. I don't know what it's
Missing File
called. Retrograde? No, that might be the first one. I don't know what it's called. But you know what I mean. Final Fantasy VII Part 2. I have not played the first one, but after liking Final Fantasy 16, the next game that I plan to play after Lords of the Fallen is Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm looking forward to the story. Although I do feel a little bit of FOMO and a little bit regret that I didn't play the original as a kid, but I got PlayStation pretty late in my childhood. So, I got like the norms.
I just noticed there's like some weird little sign back there in the corner. So it's like for something.
Is that everyone's
What are you hiding there, Mike?
Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Spice Girl, Spice World, all the popular games.
Crash Bandicoot, dude, that game's so fucking awesome.
Play Final Fantasy.
How bad the shitless are failing on immigration. Lenny Abbott played him like a sex fiddle. I'm not, unfortunately, that surprised.
Unfortunately, but I'm going to make up for that. Another game that I'm looking forward to is the new Prince of Persia. It's a side scroller, and it looks really good. Looks like kind of a not necessarily Ori and the Blind Forest, but it's what's the name of it? Oh, it's a Metroidvania, I guess you could say, and it looks really fucking cool, unexpectedly so. So I'll be on the lookout for that. Another one is Rise of the Ronin by Team Ninja.
It's kind of sad that Nintendo's given up on giving their consoles unique names and just numbering now. Well, I mean, they've had numberings in their unique names in their consoles before in the past. Nintendo 64.
Like a combo of Sekiro and Ghost of Tsushima, which I fuck with heavily. Both of those games are good. There's also Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm gonna wait for the reviews, but it looks really intriguing. Of course, there's Hades 2. The first one was incredible. I'm looking forward to that. Also, this one, I don't know if anybody even is anticipating this, but I'm really looking forward to EDF 6, Earth Defense Force 6. It's such a great
Ooh. Oh, dude, this looks cool. Dude, this looks pretty badass right here, bro.
Game that I always enjoy, so that's one. Another one is Paper Mario, and what's the...
That's my absent. Apparently, Samsung is starting to get pissed off him. Clearly, failure students... Dumping clear the federal shots to look Democrats. Well, he's kind of letting the wall continue to be built, and are allowing immigrants to be pretty much like tied into these fucking camps anyway. Still, I mean, he's on immigration policy. Biden isn't really that much fucking different from Trump, unfortunately.
And the 1,000-Year Door. It's a remake of the GameCube version. Never got to play it. Looking forward to that. And finally, I guess Luigi's Mansion 2. I did play that on the DS. But the graphics were obviously ass, so I'm looking forward to the HD remake. But yeah, hopefully there's going to be some bigger hits this year, but if not, that's cool. I've got a lot to catch up on. But anyways, that's my most anticipated games of 2024. Now you know my top 2023. So I just had to get that off of my chest as a gamer. Now I feel like all is right in the universe because I shared my opinion on video games on the internet. So, thanks for listening.
Nice. Dope. Amazing. Okay, good. I love it. I will admit, I don't really know all most of those games, and also, like, at least to an extent, I don't really, I haven't really played most of them. Outside of maybe like one. for a little bit. But yeah, pretty much like never played any of them. It was number consoles in the past. It was never like the Super GameCube too. They should make that though. Oh, they should bring back the GameCube, dude. Let's see. So even have housing to house current residents. How they're gonna house refugees with buying saying "fuck off, Jack." Basically, just you're on your own. States' rights? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Got to keep the status quo maintained. Basically, I mean, it's just letting the problem get exacerbated worse. Just so like a lot of these fucking Republicans can essentially just like swoop in and do like mass like fucking authoritarianistic police state shit. Because it honestly just kind of feels like is what they want at this rate. Because that's kind of what, they're asking for and going to fuck around and find out with. Aw, sleepy little doggo. Just a sleepy little doggo. It's like spits off every voting block you possibly can. Yep. But, I gotta vote blue no matter who because of the mathematical calculus, my guy. It's just, it's just only like a marginally better, but that's all that matters. That's all that's needed. Yeah. That's how I fucking feel bad. It's like, ugh, he's fucking like, goddamn piece of shit. And honestly, they're gonna be the only ones to fucking, be blamed, when it comes to the loss at this rate. I ain't gonna be blaming fucking Republicans or anyone else. I'm blaming these stupid shit libs. Trying to peace travelers who won't vote for him anyway, like old Donald Trump. U.S. drilling more oil now than any point during Trump's regime. Oh, yeah. I mean, he shut down like one big one and then like, opened up like hundreds of other smaller ones. Like under the guise of like, oh, see, we're not, doing like Trump's like oil drilling, even though he literally is. He's just, canceling the specific, projects that, he wanted to do. Now he's just, doing the projects that, make him money and his fucking contractors, the profit. So, yeah, it's just like switching hands. I mean, this is like when, lefties say, when Democrats or Republicans are the fucking same, this is what they mean. That sleepy pooch. Just a sleepy little pooch. Dude has this huge ego also. Apparently he actually believes he's the only one who could beat Trump and is running for the reason. Dude needs to fucking retire. Yeah, and he's basically conditioned and made everyone else believe that is the only possible case. And he's not willing to do anything to actually try to potentially beat Trump. You just thinks, it could just be a part 2 of 2020 and expect the same fucking result. Arr. Arr. Goofball dog. Arr. Arr. Silly thing. Silly little butt. Hey. What? Oh my god. What? Dude. Took off. Come on. Really? Dog, Zukov. Buddy, hey, buddy. Zukov. Bro. Come here. Come on. Come here, bro. Buddy. Little Zukov, bro. Oh, fuck you too. Goofy ass little mutt. Ugh. Oh, Dios mío. Fucking goofy asshole thing. Got no reason to be boofing, no bitching. So I should have expected he was building it up. But oh, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's just great. That's always nice. Just driving this liar left to right, because why the fuck not? But get myself this last little bowl smoked out, and I think I'll at least call it good. Get myself a little bit of dinner. Feeling a little hungry. Then I'll come back for tomorrow and shoot the shit and fuck around and find out for tomorrow and see what's happening. So. Idiot. Unlike, Joe Brandon, I'm going to be calling it Jova. And retire myself, Jack, I tell you what, no, I'm lucky in that fit. So, peace out, and see y'all in the next one, so.